show. And
he told me I got 6 months to live. He said, from now on, I got to start paying in advance,
What's that? Doc, I think I'm suicidal. That'll be $14.75.
Yeah, I told the doctor, I have a concussion. He said, well, have a couple of beers and get some rest. Sorry, Doc, only messing with you. Anyway, herp and hope, look out. Oh, you got to do Friday. We're doing the Friday thing, remember, for the theme? Sure. Well, of course, if he's playing it I'm speaking, it's because he obviously does the theme later after we do the show.
He's like, sure.
Friday, Saturday. I don't even know what we're doing. Anyway, Friday, I'm in love. It is Friday. It's the 21st of October. Podcast number 489. And some fun stuff to do, and serious newsy stuff, but a lot of fun, goofy stuff. Holy crap at sports later? Or
number 500 will be later today.
Later today. Yeah. Well, now you're going to have a celebration, a little girly come in maybe?
I forgot about it, so no.
You should call one of your little friends or something, no? And do like a little, have her sit on your lap while you're doing it.
Talking to me anymore. I don't think she's talking to me anymore.
Is this a new one who's not talking to you?
No, it was an old one.
An old one's back?
I told her happy birthday this week. And she
I know who you're talking about then.
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you know?
Huh?
How do you know?
I know it was her birthday because it popped up on my phone, or on it popped up on one of the Facebook pages. The problem is I have my own. I also have the Facebook a podcast Facebook page. So if she posted it on that, it popped up on me too.
Sure.
Anyway,
like a list of your exes to contact them.
No, we don't want my exes. I have nothing to do with this. I'm already ready to commit a crime. Well, anyway, it's Friday. Let it rip. How you doing? Halloween is not this Monday.
The next
week
Monday.
From now. Week 10 days. Monday. Okay. Again, if you have a Halloween story, we'll try to do it maybe next Friday.
Yeah, we have one so far.
Okay, or a Halloween gimmick or joke.
Have you checked your spam yet?
Spam.
In your Yahoo? Because are you not getting any emails into there?
No.
All right. Now, sorry, I'm going to answer this. Look at this text message because I just got a note that
Happy Beanie Day.
Sure.
Oh, I got my beanie on. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Rats. He wants to bring my car in the morning. Sure, thanks.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Well, anyway, my car's been in the shop all week, and I just got notified that it's ready. But the guy who was going to bring it to me has got stuff to do, so he wants to wait till tomorrow.
Well, I just found out it's a Ford, so.
Well, no, I mean, but it's anyway. So, I'll just suck it up and what the hell? But I can't now. Just a quick thing. I know this is stupid. It's me and everything else. The car I told you, the car I'm driving is a foreign model, 4-door, luxury, expensive. Car, and the gas tank is on the right for some reason, which is idiocy.
Mine's on the right.
But I hate the thing. It's got little things you have to push and click. I could barely get it into reverse. You can't just take the thing and put it in reverse. You have to click a button and then move it. It's unbelievable. I mean, it's just they're so freaking complicated. There's something sticking in my back from one of those seat things. I pushed like 19 buttons in there and nothing seems to work. So anyway, I was stuff like that. Now he just replied to me. Sorry, I swear to God, I'll just in like 4 seconds. Okay, we're done. We're gone. Okay. Right. Anyway, so I hate it. I just freaking hate it. And you can't. Anyway, so I'm glad that I'll.
Everything made in Germany is on the right. So.
Well, it's just I don't get it. I don't like it. No, sir, I don't like it.
No, sir, I don't like it.
A couple things. We missed a chance to get some video as I came in today. I came Flounder, El Condo Flounder. Oh, by the way, Pete, I'm the Kimmer. How you doing? Pete Davis, producer, sidekick at Sports Raconteur Extraordinaire with the Holy Crap at Sports, the best podcast America later on. And Flounder, the mechanical mangler at the controls, doing all the stuff, putting together the podcast replay for tomorrow at noon. And you do all the all our funny stuff where we goof around with each other, right? So they can show that we're all a bunch of goofs. And okay, just checking.
I'll do a little tease.
Yeah.
So tomorrow's second segment opens up with "Go fuck yourself, San Diego." Now, obviously, I bleep that out.
We have to bleep, sure. King of bleeping. Anyway, so that's and again, it's on Extra 106.3, and you have to get the app on your phone for free because the signal sucks. In fact, the car I'm driving now, the FM thing won't even go to 106.3. It goes right by it. Well, I can't tune it in. I can't listen in the car because I won't pick it up. It will not let me. I put it on my phone. Anyway, so I was coming in, and we missed the opportunity. Didn't think about it because it happened fairly quickly. I didn't want to move. I come into Flounder's place. And I was going toward the back. It's a beautiful day and it's sunny, and I'm looking out the back. He has a little back deck here, and as I'm getting to the back deck, I said something like, "Where's Kitty?" or "How's Lucas, the podcat or whatever?" And he said something like, "Well, he's right here." And I stopped. I froze. Because kind of hidden off in the corner was one of those, what is it, a cat perch or a cat ladder, or a little thing, and he was on the top of that, and he wasn't moving, and he was fine. And normally when somebody comes in the door, until today, as far as I know, whoosh, he's gone. But he stayed there, and then he jumped down, and I didn't move. I stayed right where I was. Literally, and didn't say anything. And he started sniffing me, and he came right behind me. He was behind me on my legs and thing. And he kind of moseyed under the couch. But again, what a great sign. I mean, that was a great first step. As far as I know, that's his first. Has he met? Kind of sniffed anybody else?
No, just Jan and Corey, the two people I got the cat from. So
excellent. But that's a great sign.
Yes, absolutely. It's a start. So
yeah. Outstanding. Anyway, and we should have gotten it on tape. Well, we didn't think about it. Plus, I didn't want to move. I was afraid of scaring him. And so anyway, I just thought you'd pass it along. The podcat is doing great. Oh, all right. I swear to God, last one, and I'll leave you all alone. He wants me to give you a new one. Let's see. Oh, let me do this before I forget. Flounder, I have for you, sir.
A box.
I have for Flounder.
It's a fine box.
I made meatloaf. And I made it with no pork this time, just strictly with beef, hamburger beef type. And it was the kind that's 15% lean.
It's a brick of meatloaf.
And it's a big brick of it because, I had it. I didn't put I don't think I seasoned it enough, but again, it's probably me.
Brick loaf.
That I kind of lost some taste buds here. It's a big square thing, but it's, and I use the onion and garlic and ketchup and a little mustard, and I put a little Heinz 57 in there and whipped it up and stuff like that. So, when I had some last night, excuse me, I made it last night, had some last night, it didn't kick me with exploding flavor like it normally does, and it may just be that I didn't put a lot in there because I didn't want to. I knew I was giving some to Flounder, and of course I asked Pete if he wanted some, and then I realized anything that comes out of my house that isn't individually wrapped, Pete Davis wants nothing to do with. Anyway, I don't blame you. You don't know me. Anyway,
I've seen the video.
Yeah, so Flounder's got a big chunk of meatloaf here, and I hope you enjoy it. If you throw it away, you will not hurt my feelings. A couple of quick things. Again, we have actually newsy stuff and things like that to talk about. This box sitting here. The other day, this box was there at my house, and it was 4 Milky Way candy bars. No note, no letter, anything else, and no address other than, it was delivered.
Deborah.
And this is here, Flounder.
There's another one.
Here's another one. This is the second box. Our friend Denise. And here's the funny story.
We need to make sure these are trusted sources and that there's not fentanyl or anything in there.
No. Denise is anyway, these are for you. And here's the funny thing. She said, oh, by the way, thank you so much. I'm going to be overflowing in Milky Ways if I don't be careful. But God bless you for being so sweet. But here's the funny thing. I was complaining that you can't find any regular size Milky Ways. They either have the little ones in the bag with a million others, or the fun size or mini size, whatever, or the double ones. But anyway, and I just thought it was unusual that everywhere I go, you can't find them. And every once in a while, you'll find them in a machine or whatever. But basically, they don't make them anymore.
Cracker Barrel.
So anyway, somebody said Cracker Barrel, you can find them in their machine. But again, they could have been there for 5 years.
No, it wasn't a machine. It's a display.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good to know. If you can find a Cracker Barrel within 30 miles of where you live anymore. Where's the nearest Cracker
They're
Barrel?
usually on the interstate.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, so anyway, so that's fine. Anyway, so whatever. The funny part was, I'm sorry, I'm
there's
an
one
idiot.
off Jimmy Carter, I-85.
Oh, that's right. I've eaten there. Denise said, ironically, she went to the Walgreens or Walmart or whatever it was where they were supposed to normally have them, and they were totally out. And then she ordered them on the internet, and they limited her to an order of 4. Isn't that what did I tell you?
Chocolate's rare right now. So.
But that's size. I mean, it's unbelievable. For some reason, I guess they're just not making. But I thought, is that weird? She couldn't even order more than 4 of them on the internet.
Kimmer, you shouldn't even be eating chocolate anymore. Chocolate is very bad for you.
I bring them chocolate every day, as you know. Anyway, so I thought that was kind of cute and sweet. And Denise, thank you so much. Speaking of cute and sweet. I'll do that in just 1 second. What's the matter? You okay?
I thought you were going to talk about me.
Oh, well, no, yeah, until I saw your outfit. Sorry. I love it when you
start. 28 years old.
Oh, it looks new.
1994.
Damn. Atlanta Hawks champs. What did they win in 94?
Steve Holman gave me this shirt in 1994.
Was this division champs?
I don't know.
What I was on. We were on the radio together in '94. I don't remember them being champions of anything.
Central Division.
Yeah, I guess probably. Here we go. I got a couple of personal thank yous also coming up, and more about, First, I could get in trouble at this. In fact, I did get kind of in trouble from one of our listeners, Scotty the Window Guy, and his wife. And I missed her birthday and his birthday and whatever. And I got a message here from Donnie, and it says, "Hey, Kimmer, my wife Julie and I love your show and have been listening since the 90s. She's recovering from neck surgery and isn't feeling the best. Our anniversary is Saturday. That's tomorrow. And I was wondering if you could wish her a happy anniversary for me on your show Friday, please. It would definitely cheer her up. Thank you, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder." Forget it. I got no interest in doing personal messages. All right, edit this out.
That woman literally is a pain in the neck.
Just totally. Just try this over here. Yeah. Give it a like Kramer on and Julia Lewis trying. What's her name? Elaine. Remember that on the couch? I'll give you a bike if you fix it.
If he had any balls, every once in a while he'd walk in the room and say, "Hey,
oh,
look out, duck!"
Yeah, duck. Sorry. Anyway, so I thought that was amusing. Now, let's see. I think there was another thing on Denise's thing here I wanted to mention. Well, actually, Denise, I haven't heard back. Here's been this week. She sent me a horsey coloring book page, which I thought was very sweet. And there's a surprise coming for something involving the podcast at a later date, which I will not tell you about now. But I will do some other things. Listen to this. Last time, I believe it was last time, I remember pointing out that one of our podcast listeners named Kimberly had beautiful handwriting. Remember, I think I showed the card and everything. I said she had just beautiful handwriting. Well, I neglected to also point out, as soon as I saw this, I felt bad about this. Look at the handwriting on this beautiful note. It's kind of hard to see, obviously, but it's beautiful, wow. Old-fashioned, just really pretty handwriting. And it's from our friend Pam, and she's in Los Angeles listening to the podcast.
I'm so sorry, Pam.
But for some reason I thought, and she's from Los Angeles. She's a horse lover. Her dad and mom
They're
raised
still able to get mail out.
Yeah, but for some reason I thought, I know we have listeners all over the world, but for some reason, she sent a card and donation. To help us keep going. This is why it was so sweet from Los Angeles, and I just thought, for some reason, I was. That's surprised.
Like a foreign country now.
Well, it is. But anyway, and she has beautiful handwriting.
I love visiting L.A. I couldn't live there anymore, but I love visiting the whole Hollywood thing, the history of it. I love the whole area.
The problem is now it's infested with homelessness, everywhere.
Anywhere around.
I see like the culture and what it used to be in L.A.,
San
Hollywood.
Francisco, it's just the two of the most significant cities in America for generations.
Well, how big it was with art and everything too, like that in New York. God. But now they're just too liberal.
Fun to visit, but can't live there.
San Francisco, but you wouldn't want to,
Well, I'm sure we'll get into this later. But what are the chances you think that whoever that person is could beat the governor of New York to turn Republican?
Oh, Zelda or
whatever. He's come up a couple points.
Yeah, it's so. She's a nut. She's a head, and plus she was never elected. She got, she was in office because she quit.
Mayor or governor?
The governor.
She's the governor.
See, every election cycle we hear this in California, New York. Oh, look at the polls, and you have a chance. We can turn this, and then you wake up the next morning, and it's Democrat.
New York is a Democrat state, and I even remember Nelson Rockefeller was Republican, and they had been Republican for a long time, but it was still a Democratic state. Right. It's like Massachusetts. Mitt Romney was governor for a while. Of course, he's a liberal Republican, but he was still Republican. Mitt Romney was governor of Massachusetts.
Well, yeah, that's right. He was.
Remember? So there were some weird things that can happen. But anyway, I think he's got a chance, but New York is so Democrat.
Proof here. With all the things that's gone bad the last 2 years, I'm driving through Morningside Wednesday night, Morningside and Virginia Highlands, because just those neighborhoods are so cool. The old houses and everything.
I used to love driving
the
through there
Halloween
anyway.
decoration. People have put spider webs over their whole houses.
Right.
Which
Yeah.
kind of me, if you got a spider problem, if you have arachnophobia, that's got to be driving you crazy.
I would not,
walking up and down. But anyway, and that was scary, seeing some of the stuff out there. But the scariest thing was all the Warlock and the Abrams signs.
It's
Every
all
third
Democrats.
house.
It's all Democrats.
And they're, those people are paying out the yang in taxes.
But those houses are outrageously priced these days,
and they're still voting for these idiots that are just.
What is the matter with
They're overeducated morons, is what they are.
And do-gooders and Trump haters. I think still Trump.
Well,
they
Republican
just
haters.
Yeah. But again, they now link, the MAGA. We're now all MAGA, so therefore we're
Fine.
enemies of the
Sign me
country.
up on MAGA.
You
I
can
don't
be my
care.
enemy. That's fine with me. Speaking of neighborhoods, I mentioned this on the call-in show this morning. What's going on? Alpharetta, the king of the steel plates and orange barrels. There are roads that are chained off and misdirected. And again, I know this is so low. I'll try to keep it very, very short. But for those in North Georgia, especially around the Alpharetta area, oh my God, there's a major intersection of West Side Parkway and Haynesbridge Road. It's right near North Point Parkway. And North Point Mall. So that area of Alpharetta. And it used to be just all you could see is woods for that whole, probably 30 acres. I almost missed my turn the other day because they've clear cut all the trees. They're gone. The whole, it literally must be 20 or 30 acres on the intersection of West Side and Haynesbridge Road. And I said, oh my God, where's my road? Because I almost missed it. And it's all the expansion. Oh my! And the roads are closed.
Well, you say it's Alpharetta. It was dark when I was leaving, and I went to Manuel's for a second. That was sad.
Oh, we were talking about last night or the other
Wednesday night?
We're going to talk about this.
I was about 10 o'clock, and it was like nobody at the bar, and it was just dead, and it made me so sad. I left. And I got lost getting to the interstate, going the back roads there, because everything's changed down there.
I got lost in Buckhead the last time I got off at 400 in Buckhead, and I thought, where the hell did that building come from?
I know. The whole North Avenue, that whole section is now high rises and
going
stuff.
back from that Buckhead exit, going back north, I didn't recognize anything I saw anywhere around me.
And that was my backyard. I lived down there. That was where I hung. And I literally got lost leaving Manuel's and ended up on Boulevard, which you never want to have happen. And the potholes on Boulevard were enough to eat your car. They weren't little. They were this deep.
I used to live down there. Getting off right where Freedom Parkway is, and you take that right there.
That's where Shannon used to live down there.
Yeah, right there. It's horrible.
It's just totally different. And the potholes were incredible. Yeah.
Well, what you should have done is stayed on Freedom Parkway and gone down through Little Five.
I thought I knew where I was going. And they've changed some of the roads and stuff.
God.
It was...
Well, I want to talk about Pete's experience and whether he still has his car. One more quick thank you note here, boys, if I can, before I lose my total track. This is from Stuart. And this was really cool. He said, "Whoops! Oh, you idiot! Sorry, I got to stop this morning drinking." It says, "Hello, Kimmer." He talks to me. He sent us a very nice donation. Many years of being on the air, off the air, on the air, off the air. It is an honor being able to catch you, Pete, and flounder. It makes my lunch and drive home and chores around the house manageable. He said, I know you love horses. Well, for the last 40 years, we've had a mule. Born and raised on the property last 16 years. And he talks about this mule and taking care of that silly mule. Thanks again for the great time I get to share with my personal three stooges. I mean these terms to be funny, nothing personal. That's us. And by the way, from a Gwinnett native since 1970, born and raised, and a Parkview graduate in 1988, well after Pete's time.
I'm so sorry.
And if I win the lottery, you will work forever, from Stuart, which I thought was nice. And by the way, I'm caught up on all my thank you notes. Although I did run out of thank you notes, but I'm all caught up. And we may have our buddies at Eric at Farmhouse Printing Co. I think has got an idea, and I'm very excited. I kind of texted him, and he's got a thin idea, and I'm very excited because he's a very creative guy. Give him a Farmhouse Printing Co. right now.
Right now, farmhouseprintingco.com, located right here in Sonoria, Georgia, with all their custom shirts they do, and the hats and signs and promotional items. And it's no minimum order, 1 or 1,000, it doesn't matter. No setup fees. They now have of laser engraving to put on your cups and tumblers and leather goods and anything you want. Bring a cow and bring your mule in there and they'll do it. It's farmhouseprintingco.com. All your Kimmer Show needs, Holy Crabbit Sports needs, anything you need.
Shannon Burke from his man show down in Florida for crying. I mean, you can look, you just go to farmhouseprintingco.com or call them. They'll be, and that's the other thing. If you don't really do the internet stuff, just call them and say, look, I need some help. I don't do the computer stuff.
Or drive down there.
They'll take care of it. I mean, they're very, very good guys. And we're going to do something here that I don't know yet. I hope maybe it's a secret of some kind, but we're going to have a little something here with Eric. It's going to be great. A couple things. Let's see. Don't you hear that Elon Musk, apparently the people at Twitter going nuts. Elon Musk has now said, as soon as I take over, I'm firing 75% of you.
Good.
And their heads are exploding. I mean, imagine the balls on this guy. By the way, as soon as I take over, I paid way too much. I paid way too much for this, he says. And as soon as I take over, I'm firing 75% of all of you. And you're going, wait, you can't.
The same ones you threatened to quit.
Yeah, let them try to find another job. Let them go to a place that wants to hire these kinds of people.
They can learn to program.
Yeah, learn coding. Yeah, in your own home.
You too can learn coding. The comfort of your own home.
And one more thing, kind of a social media thing. Oh, and before another two things from my time. I wanted to put one of these very nice deposits in the Wells Fargo Bank drive-through today. The one in near me at North Point Mall. Closed, driving no one.
Closed.
One down here, closed. Yeah,
I
guess
went in.
It's only a couple days a week now. Maybe
There's
open.
literally 3 people in that entire bank. Every office is closed.
Yeah.
There were literally 3 people in that bank.
I remember that this one here down the street, near Flounders in Sandy Springs, and I went in and I talked to him, and she said, "We can't get anybody to be a banker." And I said, "How the hell could you?" Again, I've said this before, but how could you be 22, 27 years old and maybe a college graduate and not know what's going on? But how would you not want to get into banking? I mean, I wouldn't want to, but there's got to be a lot of people who could certainly get into the issue, into banking and finance and stuff and mortgage things. And I mean, I don't know. What do I know? I can't. I'm not that kind of a numbers guy. But but a part of it is sales and management, and there's a lot more to it than I don't know. I don't know. I was surprised. Let's see. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Pete, you'll be glad to know, I heard the story this morning. It's been a while, and I was wondering, I'm hoping for the Sunday paper, before they stop actually issuing a newspaper at the Al Jazeera Constitution, I'm hoping this Sunday we'll have another update, because today they're unveiling a statue in Mississippi.
Let me guess.
Yeah. Emmett Till. And it was a movie or documentary, Till is out now or something. Oh, God. So shame on you, you white bastard. Shame on you, Flounder, you white son of a bitch.
I'm sure my people did it. I'm looking.
Your own grandmother cut him down in the prime of his life.
I'm looking here on our YouTube here. And with this cap on, I look like a Greek Orthodox priest.
I told you,
the beard and the
you
hat.
can tell this.
And it's again with the red shirt.
You can tell the change in seasons when Pete starts wearing his hat every day.
It's cold.
Anyway, I've noticed this too. I got one. You got one. A couple of friends of mine have got one. And people using different names. If you have a text message that says something like, so sorry for infringing on your privacy. I was just spending my free time going through some pages here when I saw your amazing profile. It's expressed my desire to be one of your friends, and then there's some flowers, but I don't want to send you a friend request without your consent. You can add me up as a good friend. Thank you, and God bless you. This is like 10 different names. It's people trying to sell you Bitcoin. Apparently. So, and I got one, and I actually replied saying, "Oh, you're so sweet, but I really don't. I can't get on the friends thing anymore." And then somebody, my little friend Gretchen said, "Yeah, it's a scam. They're all trying to delete." So delete. Just block, delete, or whatever. Anyway, just a warning: if you're getting a message like that, you can tell by the syntax and the grammar. If it doesn't, and it's so sorry for interrupting your life while I go through your pages. Yeah, right. That's how people talk. So anyway, let's see. Emmett Till, Elon Musk statue praising the setup. Wells Fargo. Boy, we're just doing crazy. Wednesday, we talked about you going to the concert.
Yes, sir.
Of Greg Ferguson.
Craig,
I thought I said it, but I mispronounced it. Craig Ferguson. And we were concerned about whether you were going to actually drive your car.
So was I.
Okay, so what happened? How was it? When'd you go? Where'd you go? And tell the little people, of course, people don't live in Georgia and don't know what we're talking about. But well, how was it and what was it like?
Little 5 Points is like the hippie section of town and has been for a long time, since the 60s.
Yeah.
One of the hippie sections. There used to be another one down on 14th and 12th and Peachtree.
There's a lot of tie-dye shops kind of deal and that sort of
thing. Where the hippies moved to after the hippie thing kind of faded away. It was always a place to go. And back in the late 70s, early 80s, when we were young going down there, it was from the suburbs.
Yeah.
It was a dangerous feel to it.
Yeah.
There was a
It's
chance
like the
you
old
weren't coming
Atlanta.
home.
Almost,
but it was out in the open.
Right.
Yeah, it was kind of dangerous. Then it kind of got away from it. It got a yuppie-fied a little bit as the neighborhood changed.
Yeah.
But I noticed that the danger vibe is back.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of back, and it's not because it's become more urbanized, because it has.
Yeah.
It used to be just all white folks.
Yeah.
And now it's about 30% black.
Yeah.
But that's not the reason. The reason is it's just a vibe to it. There's not a lot of people walking around on the sidewalks like there used to be. Now, granted, this is Wednesday night around 7 o'clock, but still.
Yeah.
The Euclid Avenue Yacht Club's still there, which is cool. Criminal Records is there. It's still a cool place to go hang out.
Criminal Records, that
Criminal
store
Records
is still there?
down there. There used to
my
be
God.
Wax and Facts and Wuxtree and all
There
that
used to
stuff.
be
There was a Wuxtree there's still a Wuxtree in Athens.
Is there?
There was a second-hand clothing store or something.
Oh, there's a bunch of those there. Oh, they're still there.
And I'm sure he'll get into this, but the variety was redone. It was revamped.
Yeah. It's been done a couple times, and it's still not that great. It's good. But even Craig Ferguson mocked it. He goes, you know what? I love traveling around the country working these comic warehouses.
But did you get there early and it was still
I got there
bad?
early, and the parking was easy. There's not a lot of parking, so if you ever go down there for something, you need to go early.
Yeah.
But I went down there early and walked around a little bit. Not a lot of people walking around, which is kind of weird.
Well, I think that's the Atlanta vibe too. I mean, our murder rate is higher than Chicago.
I know.
Literally, we're like New Orleans, Baltimore kind of territory here all of a sudden. And and by the way, there's been one article after another lately of speed racing and doing donuts and burnouts and stuff. And they're arresting hundreds of these guys, hundreds. They're now confiscating, Chargers, all these hot rod cars. And I'm thinking, what are these all, millionaire gangbangers or something who can afford to just have their car confiscated because they get caught doing donuts in the parking lot? It's unbelievable. But they're throwing stuff at cops. They're trying to run them down. I mean, it's just the lawlessness is unbelievable. And I'm not surprised that that's the vibe back. I wouldn't go down. I mean, down there. Hello.
No, it's okay to go down. You just got to be with the crowd. You don't be walking around by yourself after dark.
Right. Yeah.
And you don't get off into the side roads and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's things to do. Now, he was hysterical.
No, well, I wanted to ask you. I've never.
Oh my God!
I haven't even seen him even on TV in 10 years.
You never saw? Did you ever watch his show where he come out with no script or anything? He just start talking.
Yeah, I remember. I used to hear him on Sirius XM. I think but it's been years since I've seen him.
An hour and a half. We just laughed for an hour and a half. And I'm sure he has topics to discuss, but he was picking people out of the audience and mocking them. Things would fall down and hit the spotlight, and he'd go. Someone left a note for him, and he started reading it. And it wasn't a note. He was doing his own stuff right there, his improv, and it was naughty, it was dirty, he talked about getting COVID, and that did things to his nether regions. But the funny part, they played his song, which is "Everybody Dance Now," boom, 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 boom. And he came out to that blasting, playing the bagpipes, and he did it for a minute, dancing around, playing the friggin' bagpipes as he did that.
That's pretty cool. There.
He said he loved Atlanta. He just bought a house here. And
really?
everyone's going, yeah, really. And he said, but you know what else I love about Atlantans? Y'all are so gullible. He cannot afford a house.
Sure, he bought a house in Atlanta.
I can't afford one. He mocked the French. He mocked young people. And he made a great point about cancel culture. He said, look, I'm all for you young people. You go out and do that. Push gender. Burn things down. Do that. That's what you're supposed to do as youth. You're supposed to make mistakes. You're all stupid as hell, so do it. That's what you're supposed to do. I'm behind you 100%, but... He says, if you draw a line 20 minutes ago and I happen to say something to step over it and you get mad at me, fuck you.
Yeah.
And he said, and even worse than that, if I said something 25 years ago, which you're just now hearing, and it's upsetting you, fuck you.
Yeah.
Basically.
Finally, yeah.
Yeah. He says, just ignore them. Just ignore them.
Look at, in fact, remember all the people who have been ruined because of something they said as a teenager on a high school yearbook or something. I mean, it's, remember all this over the past couple of years, and that was because of the Me Too movement, which finally has died as a complete fraud. Where's the Me Too movement for Joe Biden?
I know.
Anyway,
all right.
So now the Ferguson thing.
The funniest thing is that this woman said something. He's been talking and everything, and the woman in the first row said something, and he stopped. He goes, "You realize this isn't television, right? I can hear you." and
about, she's talking to her friend or something.
Well, she said something to him. Like when you're at home, don't you talk back to the TV sometimes? Yeah. It's like, this isn't. And so about an hour later, she did it again, and I unconsciously had done it earlier too. She did it again, and he stopped and he goes, "Once again, I can fucking hear you."
How many times have I just said? Oh, that sounds great. I wish I'd gone. I wish I'd known about going. That's cool.
Well, if you want to go next, I don't know when next time he'll.
Well, if he ever comes back again, let me know.
I doubt he plays the variety though. I don't think he was finding it that great.
Well, coming up, we're going to remark. In fact, coming up on the Kimmer Show podcast, the Tabernacle, and a famous performer, the yearly anniversary of the story of the fight at the Waffle House. But first, let's see. I tried to vote yesterday, and I didn't try really hard, but I drove by the. Well, I mean, I drove by. I drove by the area. So no place to park. I mean, there were people circling the lot, and so I said, I'm not in any hurry. I do want to vote in person. I don't want to do an absentee ballot. I do want to vote in person. So I'm not in any hurry. But again, it was still mobbed in North Georgia, Alpharetta, Georgia, just for the record. And not that you can find a place to park anywhere around here. Honestly, God, the plates in the road and the cones and the barrels and the directions of the lanes are all changed. I mean, it's just, I've never seen anything like it. The whole freaking city, the whole town. I mean, and Roswell too, going south. In fact, today, Flounder, to get down here, instead of going down Roswell Road, which is a freaking nightmare now with that construction, they blocked off a lane and people cut you off. And I came down 400. But all this, I mean, it's, I guess somebody's making money. And I don't know what they're putting in sewer systems or what, or making lane. I don't know what they're doing, but it's a mess and it has been. And then now, how about the 285? Does that affect you? You're kind of near 285.
Not yet. In fact, it's getting better around me because they're actually starting to open up the stuff they've been working on 400.
Yeah.
And they're finishing that, so it's starting to open up a little bit. So it's a little better now at the moment. Well, until people discover it.
Yeah.
Oh, we can go there?
Well, there you go. Let's see. But my concert and show, Bing Bang Boom. Later on, Pete's going to tell us about crazy Corvette people. We have a movie quiz. Do you still have a movie quiz?
Yeah, we may get to it.
Okay, all right. And something else as well, maybe helping me be a better person or some kind of suggestion. I don't know, something like that.
In fact, we should do that now.
All right, let's do that
because you've already done something that he was trying to comment on.
Oh, God. What?
You did your traffic thing.
I already feel...
Alex says, love the show, never miss an episode. Tell Kimmer to save his traffic episodes for the video portion of the show. We need some little cars or maybe a whiteboard presentation for clarity.
That's what I should do is have a whiteboard. This car was over here.
Alex,
this one was coming. Oh, my God.
If you listen to the old shows or watch the old shows, when he would do this, I would take little things and put it on the table here and try and work out what he was doing, and none of it made any sense.
Let's do it. We'll get a whiteboard.
Yeah, whiteboard, and you can just get up and start
I'm going
talking.
to Home Depot. I'm not Home Depot. What's the one with a not sharper?
Carl Rove.
Just
pull it up right
I love
here.
It. And by the way, on Jesse's show the other night, the one that I mentioned on the show that Jesse's texter said that President Showers with daughter's favorite ice cream was disappointment.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jesse also had somebody texted in and say, "Tell that guy to stop using that stupid whiteboard. It's 2022." And Jesse said, "Oh no, I love the whiteboard. I love him doing it.
I think he's stupid. I think he's wrong 100% of the time.
Oh, it's not. I don't
Carl
agree with that
Rove has
at
been
all.
wrong about almost every election for 20 years.
I'm not sure about that. Anyway, I get a kick out of him doing it. I think it's silly.
It's time for him and Newt Gingrich to climb into their
Well,
casket
now
and
Newt,
go
yeah,
away.
there's another one too. That's
Go away.
Jeez. Anyway, you're not helping us out here. Time really is. Thank you, appreciate it. No, thank you. Really, what you've done in the first. You know, I mean, you were there for the Bush situation, and so you were helpful.
Thanks for NAFTA again, Newt. Thanks, appreciate that.
Again, that's the.
Thanks for working with Clinton. Good stuff.
Yeah, how come you didn't vote to impeach him? That's right, I forgot. Anyway, now, you want to talk about ghosts?
Oh my God, I didn't watch it.
Oh, you goofball!
Well, God, I had the playoffs, and Georgia Tech was playing last. You know what I did? I forgot all about the NFL game last night. I completely forgot about it.
I'm not going to. I can't watch it because I don't have my phone that is tuned into a miniature picture to watch a freaking NFL game.
You can watch
Amazon. Oh, this is great. This is really good. This is the best way. Is with a little phone picture there.
You're not even.
Anyway, so I screw that. But then you want to do Monday? Because I'm
Let's
caught
do
up.
Monday because I have not. I've sit there and I was so tired last night. I just couldn't watch it.
All right, I will. I know that you will enjoy the segment on the washing machine. And
Wait a minute,
the podcast.
Now, is she still sitting on the washing machine?
Oh, there! I didn't know. Is that one from
that
an
was
earlier
from
one?
2 weeks ago.
All right. Well,
that's one for 2 weeks
now,
ago.
how about the Indian tree?
No, that was last night. I haven't seen it.
Okay. And the Mean Girl. About the prom Mean Girl. Do you know about?
Yeah,
is that
from
last
year.
Okay.
That was last year.
Last year?
Last
That
year.
can't be right.
Yeah.
Because I had like 4 that I hadn't
Yeah, that
watched.
was months ago.
Okay.
That was one of the last shows of the last season.
Anyway, all right. Well, let's do that. Let's do that on
It's
Monday.
a funny show. Yeah.
On Monday. And I'm going to talk about one of our commercial sponsors. And again, 2 things. If you go to thekimmershow.net, that will link you to Extra 106.3 and to the podcast and to information and YouTube and Facebook. And again, if you click on YouTube and hit subscribe, it's free. All you have to hit subscribe and then nothing else ever forever, and it helps us gain clicks, which could help us stay on the podcast. We are trying to keep the podcast going. It's clear recently we've come to the conclusion that we're and I'm because my name's on it and it's because of me and my situation in life, we're not going back. This team is not going back on the radio. They're not, so we're trying to keep the podcast going, and since it's free and we have hundreds of thousands of clicks but only a few hundred subscribers, we're asking people to donate to us. We have a post office box. That address is on there, right, Flounder? Isn't that on the one on Kimmershow.net?
If the doing it by asking doesn't work, sometime in the beginning of next year, we will have to put it behind a paywall.
Paywall, yeah. We're trying to avoid it. And again, the people who've been donating are so generous. I mean, it's just, I feel I'm guilty because they're saying, well, I'm already giving you, I'm so begging you to forgive me for even mentioning it. But again, if we can't keep
it's not them, it's the majority.
Yeah. And again,
and the people are that are right now on Patreon or give a regular check or something like that's not going to, this won't change anything. You will just move from Patreon to something else, probably.
Yeah.
We're just trying to get easier too.
Yeah, we're just trying to get people who haven't really thought about it that we really want to keep it going. And if we can't, it's over. And I'm moving out where the kids are. I mean, it's simple as that. But anyway, we love doing this. We want to keep it going.
Taking up bank robbery.
And also, if you want to get in touch with Pete directly, it's PeteDavis1@yahoo.com. And I'm going to brag about one of our sponsors here in a second. I was listening to one of these ads. I love these ads on television. There was one for bipolar depression. That's a serious deal.
Yes, it is.
Bipolar depression is nothing to goof around about.
And bipolar depression, too.
What's that? Bipolar depression is the same thing. I've heard that bipolar depression can be a real...
The worst one.
That's right.
What's
the worst one?
Tricolor.
We don't want that.
Tripolar, too.
Sorry. Some guy right now is loading his pistol.
Don't worry. He'll forget about it.
Bitch.
He'll forget about
He'll forget it.
Take your happy pill and go to bed.
Now back to our show.
Do it to the camera. It probably helps.
Sorry. I said no. Anyway, whatever. I'm listening to this commercial, and it says it's a medicine for bipolar depression, and there's no substantial impact on weight. But there are some side effects, including sudden changes in behavior, suicidal thoughts, risk of stroke, confusion, fever, uncontrollable muscle spasms that may be permanent, and that's not all of them. Oh, that's right, also death. But no extra weight gain. gain. See if this is right for you. I'm going, oh, jeez. I love at the end. See if this is right for you. I mean, and no weight gain. Well, there's the good news.
You're hot and spasmatic, but
Holy
what the hell?
crap. But again, how'd you like to be a bipolar guy, a depressive guy, and this is your choice? I mean, holy criminy.
Most of the cures seem worse than the
Well, I know. I mean, my God, they'll kill you? That can't be good. Anyway, coming up, President Crime families back in the news, snapping at reporters. Also, did you get the sound of John Fetterman's going to have a news conference here? We're going to go live in a couple of minutes, not right this second. But you're going to, I mean, this is going to be unbelievable, really. First.
Wait, are you going to do an ad?
Yes.
Let me do my John Fetterman impression as I walk away here.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, John Fetterman. He would have made a great lurch. Yeah, and Herman Munster. Auto Pawns in Bremen, Georgia, M&S Title Pawn. These are your trusted partners, M&S, the two letters, M&S Title Pawn. Your trusted partner for auto pawns in Bremen, Georgia, right there at 306 Laurel Street, 306 Laurel Street in Suite A. Open Monday through Saturday in person. Love to have you come in and see how they can help you out. This has not been doing this for 24 years. Locally owned company, simple, straightforward terms, no goof around, and no hidden fees. They offer tiered rates for pawns. They'll dedicate themselves to exceptional customer service, open communications, potential to buy out your current pawn. Here's the phone number, M&S Title Pawn in Bremen, area 678-821-3337. Or if you want to get them on the internet, the text, you spell out M&S Title, so it spells out manstitle.com, M-A-N-D-S title.com. M&S Title Pawn in Bremen, Georgia, with our great thanks.
Cindy
How's
said.
Mr. Pumpkin?
Well, Cindy said the walk was good, but I need a lump if I'm doing Fetterman.
No.
So here it is.
Well, we're going to get to him in a second here. In fact, let's do it right now. His news conference is coming up. Yep. Here now is John Fetterman running for Senate in Pennsylvania, and with this news conference. Here we go.
Putting on
French
the
fried potatoes. Mm-hmm. Like them French fried potatoes. Mm-hmm.
I could have done that.
Thank you, Mr. Fetterman.
I like them French fried potatoes.
I swear to God, and last night it just hit me like a brick. For some reason, Fetterman decided to, well, he had Putty Tat down. I mean, well, Putty Tat Light, President Showers with daughter, came down to help him out. You know, nobody ever shows up for when our president shows up anywhere. Anyway, so, and if you look at the video, I'm begging you, look at the video or a picture of John Fetterman, especially in wearing clothes or an actual suit instead of that hoodie thing, if he doesn't look like Billy Bob Thornton in Sling Blade and talk like, I mean, he's Billy Bob Thornton.
I'm going to take that sling blade and cut your head off.
Well, you know, that coffee makes me nervous if I drink it. Really?
I like them French fried potatoes.
I like them French fried taters.
Did you guys like that movie?
Yeah, I like it.
was
Yeah,
really
Dwight
out there.
Yoakam was
Yeah,
great.
It was.
Yeah, he was hilarious. Just
You knew what was going to happen. It was predictable. You knew what was going to
And
happen.
the guy from Three's Company, John
Colonel
Ritter,
Bruce
was it, who
Hampton
played
was
the
in that movie.
gay cashier.
Really? I don't remember that.
And I remember Billy Bob said something like, well, or so he made the point that, well, I wouldn't kill you, although God in the Bible said it's not right for two men to lie together, but I wouldn't kill you over it or something like that. I think,
Colonel Bruce and Vic Chestnut were in that movie.
I wouldn't kill you over that.
I don't remember much of the character, but anyway, that was kind of weird. Anyway, the man, and again, for the record,
I can do a good one.
and for the record, I'm not making fun of stroke victims. My daughter Jennifer, the Clonkhead, had a stroke, but she's more mentally alert than John Fetterman. My daughter, still has trouble getting around, but she's still way more mentally alert, I promise you, than John Fetterman is.
We've seen it.
And I mean, the man can't come. You got to be kidding me! And it's not only that he's incapable, but his goals and his values and his stands are horrible. Open borders. He wants to let go a third of all the prisoners. Let them out. He doesn't believe in life sentences. I mean, it's one thing after another. And by the way, have you heard the latest scheme? The word is apparently now that if he gets elected, that the governor will just have his wife take over. He'll be incompetent, and he'll have his wife serve out his term.
They get what they deserve if they elect him.
Yeah.
The problem is he affects all of us.
He lied about fracking. He's on record with, I saw him talking, I'm against fracking. We have to get out of the oil and gas industry. And now, fracking, we get a good fracking is good.
What Biden said, he lied.
Same thing. They're just, it's just, but the
he
thing
chased a black man down the street with a...
He saw a black guy running in the neighborhood. He got in his pickup truck with a shotgun. Does this sound familiar? And chased down the black guy, caught him, put the shotgun in his chest, and said, we're calling the cops. He was going through the neighborhood. He was an innocent jogger. Just walking. Does that
unlike
sound...
someone else, he was an innocent jogger, unlike others.
And Fetterman pulled him over in his pickup truck with a shotgun.
If a Republican had done that, over.
Oh, my God.
Over. It's over. If they had a picture of Brian Kemp doing that, it would be over.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, without even... Oh, and speaking of that, I'll get to that in a second. Well, no, yeah, I got to it in a second. Let's talk about President Lazybones, back on vacation again, of course. It's Friday. He only works 3 days a week. He leaves the White House Thursday afternoon and comes back Monday afternoon, and he's there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then goes to either the beach or the beach house or his house in Delaware.
Anybody who vacations in Delaware also has timeshares in Muncie.
Yeah, he can't wait to get back to Delaware.
There's one nice place. Rehoboth Beach is probably the only nice place in the entire state.
Well, the President crime family spends a full quarter of his working time to a third of his working time at his house or on the beach house, and the White House will not release any of the logs on who called on him, went to see him, had meetings with him, the business of the people, and they're not releasing any logs, even if they kept any. We don't know if they even have any. They may have just not taken. They say, "Well, we don't want to have a record of it, so we're not going to keep track of it." But how are you supposed to know what he's doing? We don't know if he's had visitors from the mob or Russia or Red China or Hunter with his buddies again. They could have. I mean, it's unbelievable. And of course, Jill, the cuckold specialist, PhD, is furious with his handlers and puppeteers for letting him outside the house with his escort sensors. He keeps blowing it. In fact, I don't know if you saw the latest. He exploded once again. Let's see. Here we go.
Start calling him Ginger. Ginger snaps.
Ginger snaps at the press. And again, you've seen it before. But again, if that had been a Republican, Trump never even was that bad. But it happened again yesterday. He was out talking to the press outside the White House, and somebody called him over. And the first guy said, "Should there be any restrictions on abortion at all?" And Biden said, "Yes, there should be." And the reporter said, "Well, what should they be?" And then Biden yelled and said, "It's Roe versus Wade. Read it, man. Read it. You'll get educated." That's the response from the president. The conservatives on Twitter found this completely defensive. One strategist, for one thing, said Roe Wade didn't put any restrictions on abortion unless a state limited it, and the Democrat bill to codify Roe would remove every state. He said, anyway, this old geezer doesn't know what he's talking about. It had nothing to do with Roe versus Wade. Another grandpa got angry and grabbed a reporter. The bill he's pushing goes way beyond codifying Roe versus Wade. I'm eager for him to explain which restrictions he supports. Daily Caller, read it, man, Biden tells a reporter, because apparently he hasn't read it himself. And then the journalists who talked to him appeared alongside John Fetterman and mentioned other Democrats are not wanting to campaign with you, Mr. President. And she said, Sir, John Fetterman's going to appear with you today in Pennsylvania, but there haven't been that many candidates campaigning with you. Why aren't more? And he cut her off and said, "That's not true. There have been 15. And before he walked off, he forcefully urged the reporter, "Count it, kid. Count it."
To a woman.
To a woman. "Count it, kid. Count, all right? Count it, kid." As he strode off, she got in one more, saying, "Okay, and are there going to be even more?" And he said, "Yeah." I mean, what a dirtbaggy old...
Trump had yelled at a woman like that.
Oh, God. Well, remember when was it Jim Acosta grabbed the Trump female press aide's microphone, and Trump, nailed him. I mean, he kicked him off the press thing for it. Anyway, this freaking president, conservatives found it completely weird. One the Students for Trump said he's absolutely a weird president. Stephen Miller, a former Trump advisor, said, "Here's a counting exercise for you, sir. How many illegal aliens entered the United States this year?" Another columnist, "What a cantankerous old fool. The great paradox in Democrat politics today is that Biden embodies everything they claim to despise."
You know, they're supposed to have released the border numbers weeks ago, and they're refusing to do it till after the midterm.
Right, that's right. Yeah. Well, again, they're keeping the banking records secret of all the 150 federal crimes that Hunter Biden committed.
Chuck Grassley was on with Sean Spicer yesterday. I happened to be flicking around, and he says they're going to have so many hearings if they win, and that they've already got so much evidence ready to go.
Oh, you know they have it again and again.
We're talking about impeachment stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's because he lied and said he was not in business with his son, and Grassley pretty much said, yeah, he was.
Yeah, and Grassley, and who's the other one? Not Hogan. I can't remember his name now.
Hogan.
But anyway, yeah, they've already. I mean, they've got their staff is doing nothing but collecting evidence to ready to go. Thank God. And another thing here, speaking of scandals. The Democrat mayor of El Paso got caught in a lie. First, he was a hero for admitting that the White House tried to pressure him. Remember we talked about this the other day? He said the White House tried to pressure him into not declaring a state of emergency, but he's a big hero because he didn't fall for it. Then, when a national reporter at NBC or somebody asked him a question, a girl asked him a question, he said, "Oh no, nobody at the White House ever pressured me into it." And then they released the videotape of a public meeting where he said the reason he didn't declare a state of emergency was because they were waiting for some more facts, and the White House asked him not to. I mean, he admitted that he lied, and then lied again, and got caught in the triple lie. Here's what killed me when they made this clear. And again, the mainstream media isn't. If they had been reporting things like this all along, we would not be in this position. Talk about hypocrisy. You know that the White House and Vice President's side piece, the shiftless, lazy, former kept woman for celebrities, all have been blasting Governor Greg Abbott of Texas as a human trafficker. He sent all those people to Chicago and New York. He's a human trafficker of all these innocent of people who are trying to flee into America. And yet, the Democrat mayor of El Paso is paid. He's reimbursed for the money for the trips that he sends those people to New York. And the Democrat mayor of El Paso has bused 11,000 people to New York City. 11,000. And he's getting reimbursed for the money to do it while the people in the White House are calling Greg Abbott a human trafficker because he only sent about 3,000.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, my God. I mean, it's just, it's unbelievable. Oh, by the way, speaking of immigration, have you heard what's going on with Lara Logan?
Now what?
Oh, my God. We'll get to that in a second. In fact, hell, you want to do that now? Let's do that now. This is really, really bizarre. I got to find it. I'm sorry. I got it right here.
Kimmer finding his notes here. Brought to you by Atlanta Custom Closets, closetpro.net. Maybe it's in the closet. Look in the closet.
I got it.
Just call 404-255-0589 for Atlanta Custom Closets. You need one refurbished. You need one built. You need someone to come out and say, you need a closet right over there. Atlanta Custom Closets, closetpro.net.
There you are. Just like Flounder. He's got a great closet. Here's the deal. Here's the headline. One of the headlines from one of our favorite sources to mock. Newsmax bans Lara Logan after she goes full QAnon, spews blood libel on network. Now, a few years ago, Lara Logan was on 60 Minutes, and she was featured frequently. You would have to call her an attractive, light-haired, light blonde, light brown hair. Beautiful. Definitely a good-looking woman. Nice figure, although she bought some extra padding in there apparently. But she was hot. She was a correspondent. She was fairly hot, attractive, and she was on 60 Minutes and all these things. She was very, very well.
CBS risked her life by putting her in a crowd in Cairo.
She got raped.
She got raped.
Yeah, she got molested and actually basically raped. Was it Cairo where that happened?
Cairo.
Was that the Arab uprising or the Spring Uprising? Arab Spring Uprising. And she got manhandled and raped and roughed up, and everything was brutal. Then she kind of disappeared. And then all of a sudden, here's what's going on now. Here's the story on Lara Logan. And it's Lara, so it's Lara, not Laura. Nearly a year after she was kicked to the curb by Fox News for essentially calling Dr. Anthony Fauci a Nazi, Lara Logan was on Newsmax's primetime airwaves pushing QAnon tropes, invoking blood libel and fear-mongering among a global cabal planning to dilute the pool of patriots in the United States with 100 million illegal immigrants.
Yeah.
Following the publication of the article, Newsmax told the Daily Beast that it will not be bringing her back on the air going forward. It's really interesting because we live in a moment where you can see all over the place that this administration is desperate to incite some kind of event, she had declared. Incite people to act. And by the way, I know this is true with Nancy Pelosi when she refused to call in the National Guard when she heard there was going to be a riot or a protest, and she refused to do anything about it. And those cops were allowed to let all the people into the Capitol building, by the way. Yep. And you don't think she was hoping there was going to be a problem? I guarantee she was hoping there was going to be a riot or a problem that she could complain about Donald Trump.
I just wish they'd gotten to her.
Anyway, she said, and this is Lara Logan speaking, incite people to act that will prove the lie of white terrorism and white supremacy in America today and give them an excuse to crack down. They need a Reichstag fire. It's a Nazi thing. After invoking the Nazis' rise to power and agreeing with Bowling and so on, asylum-seeking migrants are being treated better than American citizens. It was a guy named Bowling's podcast. Lara Logan then insisted that she had proof there was a worldwide plot to implement the Great Replacement theory in the United States. Liberals are trying to replace white voters in Western countries and compliant non-white immigrants. Meanwhile, these people are coming in freeloading, so you divide the population and then you conquer them. Then, after framing the immigration issue in apocalyptic biblical terms, Lara Logan seemed to accuse so-called globalists of blood libel, which is a long-standing anti-Semitic canard used to persecute Jewish people. Recently, the myth has become a pillar of the crazed QAnon conspiracy theory that claims a satanic cabal of pedophiles that drink the blood of children is secretly running the world. She said, God believes in sovereignty and national identity, of the sanctity of family and all the things that we've lived in from the beginning of time. And he knows that the open border is Satan's way of taking control of the world. Through all of these are people who are stooges and his servants. Almost done. Again, this is Lara Logan, who was the former CBS News correspondent. And I'm here going, wait a minute.
I'm agreeing with everything she said
so far. She sounds pretty good to me. She's been openly peddling anti-Semitic tropes in recent months, such as claiming Darwinism as a plot from the Rothschilds, sharing those are the wine people, sharing an article that argued that Jewish people are behind a one-world government, insisting that people flocked to the United States in the 18th century because they were escaping the reach of the Rothschilds and then, the central bankers of today. Anyway, there, Lara Logan was going, on, and so Newsmax said, no, you're done. You're out. We can't put you on here anymore.
Maybe a little bit too far. Just a wee bit too far.
I don't know. I mean, it seems like, and all of a sudden she's got these huge.
That's okay. She's a good looking woman.
But she's showing them, and they look painful. I mean, they look like she got them like the Sopranos dancer
always
girls.
Was well endowed. She always.
Yeah, but
was.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
And as you get older, they get bigger.
I guess they get older and they get bigger. I don't think there's any thing about that. Now, one other thing about. Speaking about justice and so forth, we mentioned and again at the Capitol, I guarantee you Nancy Pelosi could have we know that she could have ringed the place if she was really nervous that there was going to be an attack and an assault. She should have done something to prevent it. And they deliberately did not. All those police officers, there's video after video of the police officers holding the doors, opening the doors to the Capitol.
They've already had their Reichstag fire. They want another one.
Yeah, they're asking for it.
But they've already had one where they fake this BS and crack down on their enemies.
Yeah. So anyway, they're asking for it. But again, I think they've been asking for trouble so that they can crack down, which is why they're trying to make a big deal about this whole January 6th hearing, which is nonsense. Anyway, check this out. Just the other day, a California man was at the Capitol for the Ashley Babbitt Day. The only person who died because of the Capitol thing on that day was Ashley Babbitt, shot in the neck, unarmed woman shot in the neck by a weird, cowardly, disreputable officer who had already left his gun in the men's room one time. So this guy from California went to the event. His name is Christian Secor, a former student at UCLA, founded a conservative organization on the campus at UCLA, has accepted a plea deal where he admitted a felony count of obstructing an official proceeding in return for the dismissal of other charges, and he will be going to jail for 3 years. And his one physical offense was sitting in Mike Pence's chair. He wrote, the problem is he opened his big fat mouth on the internet. He was on social media. We're going to win bigly, and if we don't, we're taking this ship down in flames, he wrote after the thing. They're cheating. Trump will pull through by legal or illegal means. He messaged another person, I brought a gas mask because I expect a lot of blanking stuff to go sideways. He attended a Stop the Steal rally. He entered with a rioter and a bullhorn shouting, they can't stop us all. Take it back. Take it back. Traveling through the Capitol, he joined a crowd that went through police officers opening doors, made his way to the Senate floor, sat in a seat that had been occupied by Vice President Pence, who had been forced to evacuate the building a half hour earlier. Secor boasted on Twitter, one day accomplished more for conservatism than the last 30 years. Well, then he's had to apologize. He said, well, that was wrong. I will forever regret my decision to turn the dab at the bingity bong. 3 freaking years for going into the Capitol and sitting in Mike Pence's chair. 3 years. How much time did they give all those BML and Antifa protesters for a year and a half who were burning buildings and attacking people and I mean, looting and I mean, I can't believe it. If he got more, here's what kills me. He got more time than the 2 lawyers who threw the firebomb into the police car with cops in it. Yeah. Let me say that again. He got 3 years. He got more time in prison than the 2 lawyers who threw a firebomb into a police car with cops inside. Because they're Democrats, and it was an anti-Trump rally.
You know, somehow anarchy seems to be much more appealing these days.
I'll tell you. I mean,
ungovernable.
I can't believe it. We'll talk about this quickly. Have you seen the video and caught up with the story of the woman on the bus in Washington, D.C.? She was on the bus, and there were some rowdy teenagers, and they were making really bad language and swearing and joking around. And they were just kids who goofing around. And this woman was on the bus stop. On the bus comes a woman and a young child. And so this one woman, the hero of the story, says to the teenagers, "Hey, can you guys watch your mouth? Stop the foul language." There's, little boys come on. So they started beating her. Yeah. And they threw water bottles at her, and they punched her, and they kicked her. Nobody on the bus did anything. The bus driver kept driving. He never pulled over until they got to a stop. And that's when the guys on the bus, again, nobody stopping, doing anything. There was people taking some video, I think. And when you got to the stop, and the door opened, and they beat her and kicked her and punched her and threw her off the bus and choked her for good measure at the end before she finally was able to flee these madmen, who then got back on the bus and continued on their merry. Nobody ever called the cops. The bus driver never even called the cops. Didn't stop, didn't do anything, didn't call the police. Washington, D.C. God. I mean, of course, Democrat City, Democrat City. And of course, the Democrat mayor, who's an idiot, who wants to, she's the one who wants to make herself the 51st state. Yeah. So they can vote Democrat. She said, well, this crime is wrong. And, we're cracking down on it now in Washington. Yeah. Right. I mean, I just want to hurt them. Coming up, here come the judge, and we may not be kidding. But first, wait till you hear this one.
Estella, I'm on.
Judge Kinky. Swap my whip. Here's a cool story. I just got the news that, car things are good. If you're driving along and you see a car you've always wanted, maybe a few years old or something, you say, man, I wonder if those are available somewhere. And then you don't want to deal with middlemen and, car salesmen and dealerships and so forth. Swap my whip. Of course, whip is a colloquial phrase for a car or a ride. Swap my whip. swapmywhip.com, and you may find somebody with exactly the same thing in mind that you have to trade cars, basically. You make your own deal. And maybe he's got a friend who says, oh, I got a buddy who wants that thing, and he's got a thing with a thing. Whatever. I mean, in other words, you cut out all the nonsense, do whatever you want. It's right there in front of you. Swapmywhip.com. You might get yourself an entirely better deal that you'd never find anywhere else, just by chance of it, without any middlemen or goofing around. You make your own deal. And it's not just cars, obviously trucks or SUVs and boats, jet skis, off-road vehicles, ATVs, all that kind of stuff. I mean, whatever, all this kind of deal. Swapmywhip.com. And if you use the coupon code Kimmer, the promo coupon code Kimmer, Kimmer, you'll get 180 days of free premium listings on swapmywhip.com. And cue him. Now, here come the judge. Apparently, there is a very very well-known judge in Ohio who has been joking around in court apparently a little bit too often. They've now removed her from office, and you might have known that there might have been something funny at the very beginning because this judge's name is Pinky. Pinky Carr, ladies and gentlemen, Judge Pinky Carr, the municipal court judge.
He almost got the cat to come in here.
I should have shut
here.
up.
Yeah.
Oh, was it my voice scared him off?
He'll eventually.
Well, let's open the door.
No.
It messes the sound.
It messes with the sound.
Oh, it does? Really?
Well, build a cat door.
Just having the door closed? What's that? Open?
Like a little cat door.
I'll be damned. Okay, well, I didn't know it. Yeah, a little kitty door.
Oh, he'll come in there at some point.
Well, that's too bad.
I ain't listening to that shit.
There you go. The Ohio Supreme Court has suspended, after 2 years of unprecedented misconduct and systematic disregard of due process, the law, the court orders, and local rules, Pinky Carr, elected in 2011, who has repeatedly, dishonestly, and treated her court staff terribly, her litigants disrespectfully, abused her power to issue arrest warrants and find individuals in contempt of court. She was charged with judicial misconduct, violating dress order and decorum. Her bench was littered with dolls, cups, novelty items, junk. She presided over her courtroom wearing tank tops, T-shirts, some with images or slogans, spandex shorts and sneakers. She discussed with her staff and the defendants in court TV shows called P-Valley, which is about a fictional Mississippi strip club. She's a cute black chick. What can I tell you? She joked about accepting kickbacks in lieu of fines, having defendants give her and court staff items food, beverages, carpeting, storage space in exchange for lenient sentences. And the Supreme Court said, this is not good. She was accused of ignoring court orders to reschedule cases because of COVID. Let's see.
Oh my gosh, she looks like Taraji P. Henson, whatever that woman's name is.
Yeah, she's got a look.
I wouldn't
about
say
it.
Cute, but
well, no, but she's
not ugly.
She's a
not
girl.
ugly.
She's a girl, a kinky girl. You gotta like kinky girls.
Oh my God! Did
What?
you see the photo? That's what her desk looks like.
No, I didn't see that. Oh, I didn't. I don't like her look there. She looked better in the picturesque. Anyway, she's out. She's gone. Sorry, girlie.
Oh my God!
That's the way it goes.
Where is she? What is it?
Ohio.
Ohio.
I'm not sure. I don't remember the jurisdiction, but some municipal court.
Yeah. There's other photos that she's good. She's better looking.
Yeah. Did you hear about Kevin Spacey?
Now what?
Kevin Spacey innocent or found not liable.
Well, bring him back.
It was a jury concluded that Kevin Spacey did not molest the actor Anthony Capp when Anthony Capp was 14, and they were both fairly unknown actors back in the 80s. The court was in a trial in Manhattan. It was a civil trial because of a Me Too movement years ago. This kid, when he was 14, said, I guess the charge was that Kevin Spacey got him in a room and got him on a bed and was humping him. And apparently, I don't think there was any actual flesh involved or physical other than in the clothing.
Like a dog?
Humping him, and so the kid sued years ago, and it finally got to court. He wanted $40 million in damages. But the jury deliberated for less than an hour, about an hour, and Spacey now is 63. The kid is now 50. His claims and others interrupted what had been a soaring career for the two-time Academy Award-winning actor.
Yeah.
And he's
Great actor.
He's gone now.
Okay. At some point, with all the things they've forgiven in Hollywood,
Yeah.
I don't care if Kevin Spacey acts again.
And the other thing about who's that?
Here's the thing: it's one thing if you do that, but if it's underage and
It was an underage.
It was
Is that what he's
14.
doing? Yeah.
But he humped
okay.
him. Yeah. So again,
Okay, I didn't hear the part where it was.
Yeah,
underage.
he was.
so
he was
again,
14.
I agree, but as long as the age and consent
But
is
you know how
kinda,
many times they've now all of Hollywood they've said it before they've been diddling kids since the 20s.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, it's a and the whole Me Too movement is turned into a joke. You know, it began as a serious, legitimate issue from the girl from the witchcraft
From Uncle.
people, the one with the
Girl
little
from
chin
Uncle.
thing that I love. That Sarah Marie, what's her name? Holly Marie, the girl Holly
yeah,
Marie.
Holly Marie Combs.
And what's the name of the show? The witches, the creatures, the
Charmed.
Charmed, and I love that little chunky little Holly Marie with a little love thing on her.
was.
Anyway, I don't know why I was talking about her. No, the other girl on Charmed was the one who started Me Too.
Yeah, the one that was married to Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
What's her? By the way, there's nude photos of her on the internet. now.
Anyway,
Yeah, Ruth McGowan.
yep.
She's not pretty naked. She's pretty with clothes on
Yeah.
and makeup.
Yeah.
But not naked.
Yeah, we don't know. It's okay. Remember the story a few years ago of the American woman named Anne Sokolas who was married, living in Britain with her husband, and they had diplomatic immunity because he worked for the U.S. government at the British military base, and she was under diplomatic immunity. And in 2019, she was driving her car on the wrong side of the road and struck and killed a 19-year-old motorcyclist. She fled the country.
Is she drunk?
I don't think so, but she was on the wrong side of the road because that's where they drive, is on the wrong side of the road.
I know.
To us, obviously. And this guy's wife, a State Department employee, had immunity. But instead of it staying there, she fled. Well, now she's pleaded guilty. And I don't know exactly what they're going to do because there is diplomatic immunity involved. But now, 3 years later, she's come forward to plead guilty to it because it made things. When you flee, and just because you have diplomatic immunity doesn't mean you shouldn't take the consequences for something like this. And again, I don't know what's going to happen or what has, but anyway, just for the record, and she pleaded to a lesser charge of whatever they make it through. Have you ever driven in a place where you drive on the other side of the road? I have.
We were drunk off our ass.
Oh, God, I did.
We drove from London to Dover and then back, went to France and came back and drove back in a driving thunderstorm, and we were blind drunk.
I did it once, and I can't remember where it was. It wouldn't be Jamaica, was it?
Australia,
Jamaica's not wrong side of the road.
Probably.
Was it? Maybe it
Maybe
was.
British territory, basically.
Yeah, maybe it was. Anyway, one time, wherever it was, years and years ago, and I was scared to death. The hardest part is pulling out into traffic.
Oh, we almost got wrecked. We
If
almost
you're
hit a double-decker bus
if
pulling
you're
out.
coming out of a parking lot, now wait a minute. Now they're coming this way now. I mean, you've got
And trying to switch gears with the stick shift
Yeah,
on
no,
the
it's-
left.
oh, God.
Everything's backwards. And we got back to I had rented the car on American Express, and we couldn't find where to take it back when we got back to London.
Yeah.
So we parked it in an alleyway, and I called him and said, "Come pick up your car." I never heard another thing about it.
I don't know where you are. I can't find you.
If you're left-handed and you go over to Europe, do you think it's easier or more difficult because you've adapted to learning with your right hand?
It's a mess up.
It's just
a pain in the ass.
No, sir, I don't
You
like it.
spend your entire time driving thinking you're going to sideswipe somebody.
One quick little traffic note here, only because there's been a change in the Atlanta Police Department's standards and policies on chases. And sure enough, it figures you try to do the right thing, and it comes to bite you. A couple of years ago, back in 2020, actually before that, I got it right here. Hold on a second there. Rodney Bryant, the newer police chief, has reinstated the policy that was taken out a couple of years ago, where it forbade the Atlanta Police Department from chasing anybody. It was a months-long ban on all chases by former Chief Erica Shields, implemented the ban after a series of chases that left innocent motorists dead. And she said at the time, please know I realize this will not be a popular decision to discontinue police chases, and more disconcerting to me personally is that this decision may drive crime up. And she was right, crime went up. So just recently, like a year and a half ago, Atlanta Police Department said, this isn't working. If the cops aren't allowed to chase you when you steal something, everybody's going to start stealing stuff. So they did. And the new chief says, okay, we'll go back to chase people.
In cars.
Yeah, in cars. But he said there are some restrictions. For example, it has to be a crime accused of forcible felony, imminent danger of death or serious bodily injury. A supervisor has to require initiation approval. No more than 3 police vehicles are allowed to join in the pursuit. Prohibited from chasing people accused of minor offenses like traffic violations or misdemeanors. But even with all those in chase, okay, the other day, 2:30 in the morning, Northside Drive and 14th Street. That's a tough place enough as it is. Police pulled over a guy in a Toyota. He turned on his signal, pulled over, and then took off. The police had I guess they had their lights on, but he took off, and 37 seconds later, as they tried to pull him over, he slammed into an Uber vehicle filled with people at 2:30 in the morning and killed the driver and the front seat passenger and put the other 3 in the back seat in the hospital. Sure, the police, 30 seconds. So you can't really blame the chase policy, but again, and the guy was probably drunk. So if you're a drunk driver and the cops are pulling you over, what's better? Getting pulled over by the cops where you're going to have to go to class and spend weekends picking up trash, or going to prison for 12 years?
They're not thinking straight, they're drunk.
Anyway, I thought it was very, very horrible and hideous. One more quick thing, and again, it's kind of gruesome, but reminded me of, I mentioned before that Wayne No Offense and I went skydiving together many years ago, and it was on the day of my wedding anniversary with my final wife, and she went there. She was watching on the ground and stuff. Wayne No Offense and I were up in skydiving, and it was an exhilarating, unbelievable. I won't bore you with it now, but it was one of the most exciting things I've ever done, with just the parachute part, not the skydiving part, but the parachute part. Anyway, and the reason I mention it because a couple of months later, Wayne and I were totally shocked to read that one of the guys who was on our skydiving flight with us, there were 3 or 4 instructors with it, we're all together on the plane. One of the guys we knew who was with us was taking one of his, he's done this a million times, probably 200 times literally, and he was doing it in Alabama, I think it was in Alabama, and he got out of the plane and he turned to the right and he got chopped up by the propeller. And I'm thinking, how the hell, and apparently it was after, I guess he got out of the plane, I don't know, whatever it was, but anyway, he ran into the propeller. Well, yep. A Georgia Southern student in Bullock County at the airport, Sani Aliyu, who originally is from Nigeria, he and his girlfriend had friends who were pilots, and the pilots of the Cessna flew to Statesboro to pick up this guy Sani and his date, flew them to Savannah for dinner, and then flew them back to Statesboro, which, I mean, what a nice thing. I mean, what a beautiful thing. Just a wonderful, wonderful thing. Take your date in an airplane ride and then come back again. They landed at 10:35 p.m. The girl got off the plane and walked toward the back of the aircraft. Sandy walked toward the front. The propeller got him. And he's dead.
And she's traumatized the rest of her life.
Oh, my God.
If she saw it, even heard it.
Oh, she was right there. She couldn't have been, I mean, and by the way, you had the hearing and the seeing of the,
yeah, hit him in the head.
Head and shoulder.
Dick DeMonden.
God. So sorry. Anyway, I'm sorry to bring that up.
Vic Moore of him. Sorry.
Are we going to do any do a Bill Burr bit today or anything? Have you thought about it? The only reason we mentioned that, we were talking about it the other day, the only reason I think it's interesting if we do a Bill Maher or a Bill Burr is because they are showing that they will not be woke, and they're calling out the woke people. And to me, that's one of the most dangerous and one of the last things that we need to take care of is this woke business. When we finally get back in power, we got to stop this, calling people by pronouns that make no sense. Just refusing to do it. We have to.
Here's your pronoun.
Yeah. I'll give you a pronoun. We have to get rid of this whole pronoun horse shit, and so anytime we can start whipping away at that, I think we probably would. So once a week, maybe we'll play something like that.
Another thing Craig Ferguson was saying about, he goes, my truth. Yeah, I believe the moon's made of cheese. Yeah. That's my truth. Therefore, it's true. And he goes, no, it's not.
Yeah, has he got any bits we could play?
Oh God, yes, he's all over
let's
YouTube.
Play one of his. You want to try to find one?
No, not today. We'll do it next week. We'll find a good one.
All right, we'll find it next week. We'll find one. Unless Founder's got one off the top of his head. We got time. I want to tell you about a thing here, and also, oh no, I'll save that for later. Okay, sorry. No, I want to do this. I want to talk about my buddies, deadcrowdefense.com. I love this group. These are good guys, especially these days. Things are all, speaking of woke, oh my God. Well, if you're interested in, security and safety and weapons and ammo, and you can't even find the 9mm anymore, they took care of Flounder. They'll take care of you too. Dead Crow Defense. Get them at deadcrowdefense.com. I'll give you the phone number here in a second. It's not a gun or an ammo store. It's your personal arms dealer. They will take care of whatever you're looking for. And if they have it right there in stock, it goes out the next day. No goofing around, which is important. Great customer service. They love to take care of people. And again, the fact that they're advertising on this ridiculous little podcast means that they're kind of people who are anxious and willing to help. They love working. They love the business. They want to take care of people like they did with Flounder. Online, deadcrowdefense.com. Here's a phone number, 678-576-9117. And again, it's not just guns and ammo, safety gear, security outfits, and stuff like that. Check them out yourself, deadcrowdefense.com. If you want to order something by email, it's sales@deadcrowdefense.com. And don't forget, if you use a promo code Kimmer, Kimmer, when you check out, it's 10% off your first several orders at deadcrowdefense.com. And again, if they have it there, it goes out the next day, no goofing around, and they take care of business. These are good folks. And one of these days, we're going to get them all on a day off or something and take all our weapons and go start shooting pumpkins. And the fun part is to go to a safe field someplace or a ravine or whatever and shoot pumpkins or Coke bottles and things that explode and fun stuff like that.
Tommy Maloof once said to me, one night at Manuel's, Pete, every once in a while, a man's got to do some shooting.
That's right. Of course, they used to do up on the roof.
No, we go in the storage room and shoot the wall.
To shoot the wall, yeah. Well, you got it once in a while.
This is a guy, I told you before, he was impressing this girl on a date. He had one of those nice SUVs and everything. He says, watch this, I like to drive around and shoot out of my sunroof. So they're driving around Atlanta at night, and he opens the sunroof and starts shooting, and he hears this thunk, thunk, thunk. And he looks up and he forgot to take the canoe off.
Now, again, we do not urge shooting a gun out of your car while you're driving.
Downtown,
no, or anywhere. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this could be our third strike. I don't know if it's some kind of public menace of some kind. Just for the record. I got a bunch of history stuff I want to talk about, but something about... do you want to play Bill Burr? Yeah. Let's do it. Again, I love playing people who are saying, I'm not going to be woke, and you don't have to be either. And just for the record, one of my favorite guys, here's a quick little thing of Bill Burr.
So this is him doing a quick little thing on abortion.
Abortion and Bill Burr, the Democrats' issue.
I don't like people telling me what to do. And I always just like, it's your body. Who the fuck am I to tell you what to do with your body? So that always made sense. All right? However, I still think you're killing a baby. See? That's why it gets weird. It's not a baby yet. That's what they say, which may or may not be true. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. But I'll tell you, my gut tells me that doesn't make sense. It's not a baby yet. That would be like if I was making a cake and I poured some batter in a pan and I put it in the oven, and then 5 minutes later you came by and you grabbed the pan, you threw it across the floor, and I went, what the fuck, you just ruined my birthday cake. And then you were like, well, that wasn't a cake yet. It's like, well, it would have been.
I've never heard it put like that.
He simplifies it so well.
What the hell? You ruined my...
I've always
gonna
always
be.
loved his stuff. I mean, his early stuff back when he had hair. I'm telling you, would just spit out loud, dude. I mean, really, he was just a very funny guy, and obviously a liberal in his personal. He dated a black girl. He might have married. I think he's married to her.
Married, yeah.
And so it's not like he's a hard-ass conservative guy.
No, I've heard him say a lot of things on abortion where he's liberal, but
yeah. Anyway, I thought that was pretty funny. Do you want to do we got a music quiz? What's this about Corvettes? I'm getting my car back. Apparently, I'm getting it in the morning.
Where would you think?
Yeah,
I was flicking around and I saw a commercial for this place, which was weird because I'm in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Where do you think is the #1 Corvette dealer in the world?
Oh, you know what? I think I've heard this. I'm going to love the answer. I've totally forgotten if it's still the same answer. It's like where they have the Corvette Museum is not a place you would expect. It's the #1 seller of the most number of Corvettes or something. Is that right?
It's like they got 3 levels of Corvettes.
Isn't it like Minneapolis or something like that?
It's called
it snows all year long?
McMulkin. See if you... 20 questions.
All right.
Between you two, 20 questions.
All right.
See if you guys can guess. Can you guess where it is? And that's one question. No.
Okay.
So is it? We need to guess to the state, city.
Yeah, state.
Is it a northern state?
Yes.
Is it a state known for its number of lakes?
I don't.
Is it known for any lakes?
I'm sure it has lakes.
Okay. All right. Well, then that eliminates, the land of 10,000 lakes or the, things like that. Let's see. Is the state known for its cornfields?
Probably not.
Okay.
No.
Is this? I don't think you've asked this. Is the state on a border?
On a border.
Like, is it a border state? Is it?
Yeah. You could say
so
it's a
not
border
Alaska.
state.
I was gonna ask if it was Alaska.
Alaska's a border state.
A border to Russia.
Canada?
Well, Canada. Okay. All right. Well, then it's Alaska. Then it's obviously Alaska.
No, it's not Alaska.
Oh,
Who the hell drives a Corvette in Alaska?
Well, let's see. Let's see. Is it known for its white supremacy camps and extreme right-wing?
I don't
Idaho
think
is
so.
what I'm thinking of.
Wow, you really ruined that question. That we just went down the drain right there.
That's 8.
All right, but this is really interesting, isn't it? Well, what the hell? Are they known for their cheese heads? Are they known for their cheese heads, ladies and gentlemen?
10. You're halfway there.
Are they known for? Let's see.
Help them out.
Yeah,
I'm trying to.
I don't know what questions to narrow down with the Corvettes.
Is it in the southern region?
No.
Well, we could just name this. Is it Oregon?
No.
Is it?
I don't think this is how critical questions
Illinois?
No.
Is it Indiana?
No.
Is it Iowa?
See, usually people, when they're panicking, do this, but
it defeats
you
the whole
panicked
purpose.
early. Okay, you got 5 more.
We're done. I have no idea. I have no idea how to ask a question. We'll get to where this would go.
Vermont.
No.
Maine.
No.
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
I'll be damned.
Nashua, New Hampshire.
Is the #1 seller of Corvettes in the world?
What makes? Did it say?
Do they ship them? I mean,
Yes, they ship throughout the country. You can buy it from them, and they'll ship it to you.
Well, they must have some kind of special early before. What's the one? Not Carvana. What's the one where you call them up and they Carvana or the other that bring it to you? Carvana, yeah. But they must have had their own early thing of that where you go see what you want at the dealer and then they'll send you one cheaper or something. I guess.
I don't know how they did it. It's
I'll
just
be
amazing.
damned.
It looks huge.
Did you ever want a vet?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I wanted a Vet.
Yeah, who
and
didn't?
the ones I got now are nice, except I don't like the rear end. It's a little boxy.
They got
It's
the big
boxy.
scoop thing on the back too.
But
Our friend
it
Kevin,
looks great coming to you.
Oh, they
looks
look
great
like
from the side.
They look like insects, man.
But from
They're just-
behind-
they look like roach monsters
Yeah.
or something. They're
They look-
rockety
I'll
looking
tell you, they
things.
look like a huge Porsche is what they look like.
Well, our
from the front.
friend Kevin, the Delta pilot, just got a bright red
Ferrari.
one, and he showed me the picture. He said, "Oh, the cops will love to see you coming." I mean, it's like, here, officer. I mean, as a kid, of course, as a baby boomer, the first Corvettes that came out, I thought, "Oh my God, who didn't want that car?"
Right.
But the only Vet I love the early Vets where they had the double headlights on the front ends. But the one to get is the '63 split window. Man, that was one of a kind. It's worth $1 million.
I got a friend.
Now.
I don't think it's worth that much, but he's
Well,
got
a
one that
restored
was
one
like
or an
that.
original with a,
Yeah,
I mean,
from
it's
the 60s, yeah.
Honestly, God, they're way into six figures. The split window coupe, and they made it for 1 year. Did it for 1 year. And I had a guy in college had one. My first year in college, I'm fraternity brother of Phi Delta Theta, had a split window coupe. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, let's see. Do you want to do a music quiz? I've got history and stuff. You want to do a music quiz? I mean, a movie quiz.
Movie quiz?
Yeah.
So we're going to get to that today? Okay, let's do this. All right, get your pens out. Pens
All right,
and paper.
we'll sub out the movie quiz for the birthdays and.
I'm sorry? I have birthdays in history and a musical note.
He's got till 3.
Yeah, you're
Oh, I'm good. I'm
yeah,
in
we
no
got plenty
hurry
of
now.
time.
I'm in no
All right.
hurry.
Cool.
good. Yeah, let's do the movie quiz.
No matter what we're doing at 3 o'clock, I'm just walking out of here.
Well, we haven't done sports yet. In fact, hell, let me do that. I'm sorry. We were having so much fun doing stuff. We'll do the movie quiz in a minute. Let me do Holy Crap at Sports. And again, that's later on today. Anything off the top of your head that's going to, obviously, you watched a ball game last night or football? Or?
That idiot that ran out on the field last night during the ALCS, and everybody thinks it's such a big joke today. It's not a big joke.
I didn't see that.
He ran out. Okay, you brought your
It's the
closer.
Yankees
in.
game, Yankees
You're
in Houston.
You brought your closer out. He is ready to go, and suddenly he has to stop and stand out there and get cold because some idiot Astro has jumped over, some drunk or whatever, has jumped over and is running right toward Jose Altuve, gets all the way to him and hugs him.
Oh, my God. How'd he get to him?
And Altuve's going, well, he had Astros jersey on, so I hugged him back and I talked to him. And then, of course, security gets there and they rough him up and throw him to the ground. And he's talking to him the whole time.
So the
he said, you
closer's
got to
waiting.
win because I spent all my money on tickets. You better win tonight. And Jose and Dusty Baker and all, laughing it off, going, well, it's not. No. If that sumbitch had a knife,
Kick
he
him
could
in
have
the
killed
cheek.
him.
Well, the guy did attack the first base coach a couple years ago and knifed him up.
Monica Seles was knifed.
Yeah, you got
And they all think it's funny. No. Break his effing legs on there. Put him in the hospital, and maybe that will stop
Kick
this.
his teeth out, yeah.
Well, it'll cost about $10,000 in fines, and he'll spend the night in jail. No. I want him in the hospital.
Yeah,
he could have
that's not
killed
good.
Jose Altuve.
Yeah.
And then what are they going to do the rest of the baseball? They're going to cancel the friggin' rest of the season. They're not going to keep playing.
What?
If he killed him,
God, yeah, I'm sorry.
where the hell is security?
I can't believe he got there.
I can't believe there's a sniper
Yeah.
up there to drop
Or
somebody.
that Altuve didn't put his cleats up or something.
There's no way I'm letting that guy get anywhere near me, much
Yeah.
less come up and hug me.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. No.
I just don't understand the
believe
media
that.
acts like it's a big joke.
Yeah, that's very, very hideous. A couple things I did want to send a salute out that 4 Braves players are finalists for the Golden Glove Award. Max Fried, Travis d'Arnaud, Matt Olson, and Dansby Swanson. Finals for their position. The one notable absence was Michael Harris. Fried is in line to win his 3rd consecutive Gold Glove.
He'll win it next year.
He won last year along with right fielder Adam Duvall, Greg Maddux, and Phil Niekro, the only Braves pitchers to win multiple awards. The Braves had 4 finalists this year with Freddie Freeman and second baseman Ozzie Albies. Last year. Fried this year is joined by Tyler Anderson of the Dodgers and Corbin Burns of the Brewers. At catcher, d'Arnaud for the Gold Glove is
I don't
joined.
care who the other ones are.
It's
Braves.
probably.
No, we don't.
All right, the Mets and the Phillies, and Goldschmidt and Diamond, whatever. Okay, and I think there was one more thing. I put a note in here for something here. Oh, here we go. This is kind of a bone picking thing. I don't take it as seriously as some do, but I do take it seriously. Tom Brady said now finally apologized for comparing what he does to combat soldiers. It was on Let's Go Tom Brady podcast or a radio interview. And he said, I almost look at a football season like you're going away on deployment in the military. It's like, man, here I go again. There's only one way to do it. The reality is you can really only be authentic to yourself, right? And finding people saying, excuse me, it's really not like going on deployment in the military to a combat zone. So he's apologized, said it was a poor choice of words. He has gratitude. Well, I mean, it's no big, I don't... they all say it. It's like going into battle, man. Well,
yeah, go to war.
Yeah, go to war and stuff. And again, I don't make a big deal about it, but it's a thing. It's a thing, but it's not to be.
It was a stupid thing to say.
Well, yeah, and again, but it's what they do. It's how they brought up their whole lives, and that's what the coaches use it in the locker room. You got to fight, man. You got to, I mean, it's all.
Well, someone pointed out you're about to be, shipped off to wherever it is nowadays, Iraq or whatever, where we still are and shouldn't be. Before you go there, you don't stop by the bank and cash your $30 million your salary check, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, or write a letter to your wife to put in a safe deposit box in case you don't come back into your mother. Sorry. No, everything's fine.
Give this to my mother.
You know what? If I had been killed, she would have gotten $10,000.
I know.
That's back then in the '60s in the Marine Corps. I think in all the services.
You were worth more dead than alive.
I was way. I had no money back then. But the life insurance policy back then was $10,000. I think now it's $100,000 or more, or whatever.
Like that,
but anyway. Okay, here we go. A couple of birthdays. Can we do some birthdays? Judge Judy, what's her fine line or something's the last name? Judge Judy is 80 today. Ken Watanabe, one of the great Asian actors.
Fantastic actor.
Yeah.
The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
He is amazing.
That was just on
movie.
again recently. Ken Watanabe is 63 today. Kim Kardashian is 42. Well, that could be your hip measurement. Joyce Randolph from the Honeymooners, 98 years old. From the old black and white TV show, which one of the classics of all time. To the moon, Alice. Manfred Mann, do a diddy, 82 years old today. And Elvin Bishop is 80.
Sitting on a bale of hay. He ain't good looking, but he sure can play.
On this day in the year 2007, it was early Sunday morning, about 5. Kid Rock had just played a gig at the Tabernacle, so they stopped at the Waffle House in DeKalb County. A customer said something to a girl in Kid Rock's entourage. Kid Rock got all up in there. Soon some shoving and hitting, then took it out to the parking lot. The customer punched out a Waffle House window. The scuffle ended. Kid Rock and the entourage took off in their tour bus, only to be pulled over by the gendarmes for fleeing the scene. And they were hauled into jail and spent 12 hours in the pokey. In court later, Kid Rock, is like a year and a half later or something. Kid Rock was fined $1,000 and put on probation for a year. You ever been on probation?
No.
I was on probation. I had to write a letter to my probation officer every month for a year telling him what a good boy I was.
Not in this country.
I wasn't on probation, but I was on double secret.
Secret probation. Yeah, he's a sneaky little shit. Wiederminer doing whatever his name was.
Put him on.
Also in music, 1972. I thought this was way earlier than this. 1972. Chuck Berry, who is one of the founders of rock and roll. Chuck Berry in 1972 had his first #1 hit, My Ding-a-Ling.
Ding-a-ling, yeah.
For some reason, I thought that was from like 1958, and he brought it back or something.
Well, they brought it back in the 70s, too, I remember.
Yeah. But and that was his first night. He was, he and not Buddy Holly, but the guy 1, 2, 3 o'clock rock around my clock.
Bill Haley.
Bill Haley in the Comets and Chuck Berry were the guys. Anyway, on this day in 1962, President John Kennedy takes the U.S. to DEFCON 2, the brink of all-out nuclear war. It was the day he announced, we mentioned last week, he announced to the nation on this day the Russians were building launch bases, and John Kennedy announced a naval blockade. Russia backed down in return for us pledging not to invade Cuba and dismantling our missile bases in Turkey, which I think is what he really wanted in the first place.
That's good. The chutzpah we had, the balls
Kennedy
to say,
said,
you
I don't
can't
think
have
so.
them in Cuba, but we can have them in Turkey.
Yeah.
It's like, and
Well,
they agreed.
I think that's what he wanted, is to get rid of him in Turkey. That's what he was really after. But again, Kennedy, and I remember I was in prep school when this happened, my sophomore year, fourth form in prep school, and that's what we talked about, man. And again, our teacher, the guy, the master, was a World War II veteran. Combat veteran. They had little holes in him and stuff. And so, I mean, we talked about nuclear war and going to war and signing up. I mean, this was for a 16-year-old kid. This is pretty freaking
kind of like the Monroe Doctrine. We're not going to have any European countries messing around in the Western Hemisphere anymore. Take your damn missiles out.
Yeah. 1934 on this day, Pretty Boy Floyd is racing through a cornfield in Ohio, chased by G-men from the organization we used to have in this country that was really respected called the FBI. That's gone now, but you should Google pre-Barack Hussein Puttitat's administration anyway. Pretty Boy Floyd had tried to free a fellow bank robber in June and got into a gun battle with the G-men, putting 4 notches on his notorious watch fob, that little chain thing, killing 4 agents. The man he tried to free was also killed in the crossfire, but that back in June of that year, in 1934, was when the FBI dedicated itself to finding the #1 most wanted killer in America. And in that cornfield, Pretty Boy Floyd kept his pledge to die by gunfire rather than the electric chair.
I think the beginning of that Kevin Costner Netflix thing with Woody Harrelson, where they later got Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah.
I think that this starts off with them either getting Pretty Boy or Machine Gun Kelly. And I think it was Pretty Boy because it was in a field.
Yeah.
Do you know
that was Pretty Boy Floyd? No,
Machine Gun Kelly went to matriculated at Mississippi State.
You know, I think
He went to college.
Yeah. And didn't they? I forgot how they got him too. I'm trying to remember how they got him. I can't remember.
One of them lived, I think. I don't know.
I don't remember. In 1967, by the way, something else that America used to do when they had an FBI that was respectable, and it wasn't a communist organization to overthrow America. Instead, well, every time I hear there's new stuff on the FBI again, and once these guys get into office, you're going to find out how bad it was. I mean, the last 3 FBI directors, I should go to prison.
Would you see where there's some FBI agents mad at Chrissy Ray because he's using the government FBI jet for his personal means?
Yeah, he'd go on vacation.
Yeah.
And remember, he had to cut his testimony short in Congress where he just says, well, that's something we are concerned about. Okay, sir, your agents are all, your top administration agents are going after people to do nothing other than disagree with you politically. Can you tell us why you allowed that to happen? Well, it's something we're studying. Oh, thank you. You can go now. That's great. Got him, boy. We sure nailed him to the cross, didn't we? And he takes the company jet to his vacation. Yeah. That's why he had to leave the government hearing that time. They just went after another minister who disagrees with abortion policies or something. How many people have they arrested who destroyed those pro-life organizations?
You know how you get the wrath of God down upon you?
Yeah, do this.
Let's keep doing this to preachers.
God. 2002, Aspen Hill of Maryland. The town of Aspen Hill, Maryland. A bus driver named Conrad Johnson became the final victim of the D.C. sniper. The 2 serial killers were caught 2 days later.
You know what his last words were?
What's that?
You can call me Johnson.
You can call me Ray J. 1746, the College of New Jersey. 1746. College of New Jersey, officially chartered, later named Princeton. 1879, Thomas Edison conducted his first successful experiment with a high-resistant carbon filament by plunging it into the eye of a baby seal. The first light bulb, ladies and gentlemen, burned for 40 hours in that baby seal's eyeball. In 1950, the Los Angeles Rams set an NFL record. I really look forward to having a Thomas Edison history note. The Los Angeles Rams, 1950, set an NFL record when they beat the Baltimore Colts, the highest score ever for a regular season game, 70-27. 1975, Air Force Tech Sergeant Leonard Matlovich is discharged after publicly declaring he was a homosexual from the Air Force. His tombstone literally reads, "A gay Vietnam veteran. When I was in the military, they gave me a medal for killing 2 men and a discharge for loving 1." One more. 1918. Margaret O. Well, it was what you were doing. I don't know. 1918, Margaret Owen of New York City set a typing speed record on a manual typewriter. Yeah. Now, Founder, have you ever used a manual typewriter?
Yes.
But not very. I mean, but
No.
you know the difference, obviously.
Yeah.
Electric.
I mean, I have one. We have one at home.
Smith Corona.
I'm not sure. I'll have to find it and bring it here. You may want to use it. You may.
No. I mean, believe me.
Not
I mean,
a
you had to
manual.
go like that. I mean, a manual. I don't mean no cord, no electricity.
No, I don't think I've used one of those. I've just.
Hell,
I've
I
used
guarantee
like
you haven't.
Yeah.
Have you?
No.
I have.
Well, of course.
My whole beginning of my life, and again, of course, this is back.
104.
Well, remember, I'm an old fart. I'm a baby boomer, and back in in elementary school and in junior high, up even to junior high, they would split the classes off at 1 o'clock after lunch or whatever, and the boys went to shop, and the girls went to typing and home ec. And the typewriters were old Smith Coronas, where they were I mean, if you've never seen an old manual, not electric in any way, manual typewriter, they are very different. You have to punch them down hard. I mean, it's a whole thing. And the sound of the ring coming back, ding, is nothing. There's nothing like it in the world. Anyway, check this out.
I got a scoop, baby.
Margaret Owen of New York City set the speed typing record on a manual typewriter, an old-fashioned Smith Corona. 170 words a minute and no mistakes. I don't believe it. I couldn't type 170 words a minute on electric, making all mistakes. Making a mistake in every stinking word.
She's a big
170 words a minute on a manual.
She had man hands.
She had man hands. No question about it.
When we were in high school, they encouraged the guys to take typing, and I wanted to be a journalist.
Yeah.
So I wanted to learn to type. So
Well,
it was
but
the
again-
best decision I made in high school was to learn to type.
Well, I now, of course, every man types because you're on the computer. I mean, everybody was forced to learn how to do it instead of doing the old hunt and peck system.
You know who still used to do that? It used to make me laugh. Tom Hughes.
Yeah, hunt and peck system.
Hunt and
the one
peck,
finger. Yeah.
Well, actually, he used 2 fingers when he did
Well,
it.
it's called the hunt and peck system. And did you know that 80% of the secretaries here in Atlanta are touch typists, and the other 20% are hunt and peckers? See the hunt and peck system lookers. So they're the people who
We
look
got to
for
get a noise machine to play the rim shot.
Ding bang. All right, what else? You got a little Play-Day theater there or whatever?
We're gonna skip the movie test.
Oh no,
today,
movie!
aren't
I
we?
want to do a movie thing. No, absolutely.
Oh, the work I put on
No,
this.
we were going to do it last week, and
straight shows.
and I was talking too much.
telling
Now
you.
we have plenty of time.
All right, get a pen and paper. You got your pen and paper over
Pen
there?
and paper, my friends.
All right, here's your movie test.
There we go. All right.
Guess I'll leave my microphone.
Every time you, well, I'll say a movie, and if you've seen the movie,
All right.
get
Put a
yourself
check-
1 point.
Okay. All right.
Titanic.
All right. Yep.
Yes or no over
Yes.
Yes.
there? All right. The Prestige.
Yes.
Can you remind me what that?
That's
was
the magic one where the girl, the
Like
cute
Jessica
girl, pretends
Biel
to
and
be
her,
dead.
and
Jessica
her
Biel.
butt
yeah.
is in. It was one. There were okay.
Puts her in the water, drowns her or something.
There were
and she-
2 magic movies out at the exact same time. One with Hugh Jackman and one with Ed Norton and everything. They're
Yeah.
both good.
Yeah, I remember.
So
that.
if you saw either one of
I
them,
saw both
fine.
of them actually.
All right. Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Oh God, with
George Papard.
George Papard.
Audrey
No.
Hepburn.
Yeah.
I saw it when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I
No,
saw it
yeah, it was
long
it's
time.
1958
I didn't know she
or
was a
62
hooker.
or something.
I didn't know she was a hooker.
Yeah, Holly Golightly was it?
Yeah, I had no idea
At
she
the
was a
Waldorf
hooker.
Astoria,
Truman Capote wrote that.
at the Ritz. Where is it?
Tiffany's.
Tiffany's.
Yeah,
Yeah, of
Breakfast
course.
at the Ritz.
Breakfast
Yeah,
at
that's
the
the
Ritz.
name of the movie.
Breakfast at the Waldorf Astoria.
Okay, moving along.
Yes.
City of God.
No.
It's one of those
Is that the
foreign.
Nun movie?
No, it's a foreign movie that everybody loves, but I've never seen.
No.
The Shining,
Yes.
and it could be, I guess, any. There's been like 3.
Here's Johnny.
Yeah. Casablanca.
Oh God,
Yes.
I've got the part at the end on DVR that I play once in a while. It's like 8 minutes long.
I never saw that till about 15 years ago. I sat down and watched the whole thing, and I thought, because you hear it your whole life, is it that good?
Yeah.
It really is that
It's
good
a
of a
great
movie.
Yeah, it's just really well done.
We'll always
have Paris. Here's
All right.
looking at you, kid.
Kid.
I mean, what a
Yeah.
great line. Here's looking
Frenchie,
at you, kid.
I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship or something. Anyway, and by the way, they wrote that movie as they went along.
Yeah, they
He
changed
didn't
the
have a
ending.
script.
And they also did a couple different endings, too,
I know.
and tested them. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, at the end, he basically grabs her
Yeah.
and throws her into the plane and
Yeah.
takes. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. Spirited Away.
No.
I don't even know what that is. Reservoir Dogs.
Oh, yeah. That was a
Yes.
weird movie. I didn't really get it. I remember it's been on again recently. They're playing it back again. I remember the first time I saw it a few years ago, and I wasn't sure they got the right guy, or was looking for the guy who finked on them, or their robbery or something. It's a weird movie, but it's that guy you'll like, the lead character. I can't remember his name.
Oh, he's Harvey Keitel's in
Harvey
it.
Keitel, yeah. He plays a bad, tough guy all the time. Yeah.
Inception.
Yes.
Very good movie. The dream movie. Man, they kept going
Yeah,
into
you got
the
to
dreams
see it like
with
three.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
You got to see it like 3 times to
never
figure
seen
it
it.
Was
out.
that the one with the bear? The bear, and he makes
Yeah,
love
that's
to the
the
bear?
one with the bear. No, that's not. That was redemption.
Well, they sound alike.
This was the dream one where he had
Conception, redemption. They don't sound alike at all. Hey.
Ken Watanabe is in it. Inception.
Tom Hardy's in it.
Tom
It's
Hardy.
really,
Sorry,
it's a
I
really
just-
good movie.
Great movie.
I wish I'm so.
You need to see it,
embarrassed.
but it'll make you think. Michael Caine's. It will make you. That movie makes you think.
That's not a good idea for me.
That's true.
It's not a good look.
That don't work. Okay, what was the name? The Revenant.
The Revenant.
Revenant.
The very end of.
Has sex
I've
with
never
the bear.
seen that one.
He has sex with a bear. It's unbelievable.
I've seen to the point where Tom Hardy gets mad at him, and I said,
Well,
I
he
don't
has
like
sex
But
with a
in
bear, and that's too
Inception,
much for me.
when at the very end of the movie, when he wakes up on the plane, I completely forgot about that. I was like, "Holy,
That's a
cow,
great,
such a good movie."
It is an amazing. Inception is one of the
Well, I'm
best
gonna have
movies
to-
you will ever
I
see.
will DVR it when I find
All
it.
right. 500 Days of Summer.
No.
That's the one with that cute girl from The Nice Girl or whatever.
Oh,
Zoe Deschanel.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy, I've
From
never
the,
seen it. It's a
The
rom-com.
place where they live 3 girls together.
Old Boy.
No,
No,
never
never
heard.
saw that one either. Lord of the Rings. Any of the Lord of the Rings movies?
Nope.
I have seen them all.
Oh, I think I saw
Very
one
good.
years ago. Well, I think I saw maybe the first one
right.
years later. I'll give a check on that.
Citizen Kane.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And by the way, I think that's
Rosebud.
way overrated.
No,
It's the best movie of all
for
time.
for what it was at the time, it was
well, its
revolutionary.
meaning, its impact. Is
The camera
clear.
angles and the way he did it and the script and everything was
Yeah, but-
unbelievable.
yeah, whatever.
But now you watch it now, it's like, I've seen
Yeah,
this. Yeah. Get Out.
Oh, is that the one?
Where all white people are evil and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. No, I saw. I can't say I saw.
You know
it.
where he got
You
the
know.
idea to make this movie?
What?
From the old Eddie Murphy stand-up of why white people hang around ghosts so much and they don't leave haunted
Oh,
houses
really?
and stuff. That's where he got it.
I remember those days.
Burn After Reading.
Great movie.
Never seen it.
Never
Great
seen
movie. You would love it.
I'll have to check it out.
Honestly, I'm telling you this now. You will love it.
I was mad at George Clooney at the time. I didn't want to watch it.
Oh, he plays. You'll love it.
All
You'll
right.
love the movie. I promise you.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah, I love that little chickie in there, boy. Ooh, ow, ooh.
The effects in it was all I cared about. The rest of it was stupid.
All I
thought.
cared about was that little
she was-
angel. Oh, dear God.
Fight Club.
Yes.
I never saw it.
You know, I've seen up till the end, and I've never seen the end of it.
The end's
I need
like
to-
one of the best
All
parts.
right, I'm gonna have to sit and watch it. You
haven't
probably
saw it.
would. You would like Fight Club. You would like Fight Club.
I don't, well, maybe. I don't know.
And everybody says I look like Edward Norton, which I do not see.
You don't look
he's
like
skinny,
Edward
and
Norton.
I just don't see it. You know who I look like? I said the other day I was looking in the mirror. I look like Davos on Game of Thrones. remember the guy, the smuggler pirate who had his fingers cut off because he got caught? I look just like that guy. His name is Davos. So anyway, The Handmaiden.
No.
Fuck no, I'm not watching that. Moulin Rouge.
I did see that because I wanted to see that
Never
girl
saw
that used
that.
to be married.
They so
to the guy.
stupidly put that on. We're flying to San Francisco with the Falcons. This is like a 4-hour flight. First movie they put on is that. And everyone's like, look at each other. It's like
Yeah.
a musical.
It's a musical
with Nicole
gay
Kidman.
friend-
Gay
Nicole
Paris.
Kidman and the guy from Britain.
It lasted 5 minutes. And they were yelling,
They started
Tombstone, Tombstone. They had to
Yeah.
put Tombstone
Yeah,
on.
that'll do it. Yeah, so-
Interstellar.
I
Same guy, Christopher, who did Inception and the
Yeah.
Batman movies, did it. I watched it. I didn't care for it that much.
Is that the one where they wake up on the flight?
Well, it's a time thing where it's Matthew McConaughey and they send him out in space and he knows he's never going to see his family again because he's going out so far. And it has to deal with time and it's very convoluted.
Yeah, I didn't.
But I think back on it, it was better than I thought. I think Morgan Freeman's in
I
it
didn't
too.
see it.
Jaws.
Oh, yes.
All right. Blue Velvet. There's a strange
Yeah.
one. Oh, Dennis
Hopper.
Dennis Hopper. And he's got yeah. And I tell you, Isabella Rossellini in that movie was hot.
She
as
had some goodness to her.
firecracker.
Many times, yes.
All right. Pan's Labyrinth.
Nope.
Okay,
No.
I've seen it. You may like it. It's Guillermo del Toro did it. It's a horror fantasy type thing, but it really is it's during the Spanish Civil War, and there are monsters, and it's very well done. Very well done.
Doesn't sound like
but
that kind of
the
movie.
ending is not happy.
No, boy.
Some Like It Hot.
Oh yeah, classic.
Nope.
No?
Jack Lemmon. Oh my God.
That's when I knew I was heterosexual.
Marilyn Monroe.
When she came out in that silky.
Yeah,
The
that
sequins,
was clingy. That
the
was
shiny
that was
sequin.
that was the clingy period. Oh mercy.
Second grade,
Hanging
Huntsville,
off
Alabama, where I was laying on the bed on my stomach and we're watching the movie. My dad's folding clothes, and I'm watching her, and all of a sudden I'm getting all hot and flustered. And he turns and looks at me and goes, "What's the matter with you?" I go, "Nothing."
Nothing.
Nothing. Can I be
Fire on your
excused?
stomach.
Yeah, can I be excused?
I got a stomach ache. Yeah, that's it.
The Wizard of Oz.
Oh yes,
We're off to
absolutely.
see the Wizard.
In color.
Hot Fuzz.
No, I
Simon
never saw
Pegg's in it.
that.
It's funny.
Yeah, I've seen I've seen it up available.
What's the one where the zombies come out in London and he has to fight the zombies? Have you seen
I've
that
seen
one?
it.
No.
That's funnier than hell. Black Swan, the lesbian scene.
I did see that with
between Mila Kunis and Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman.
I didn't see it.
I haven't seen it.
Drive.
Oh, with that guy who was in the girl,
Ryan Gosling. That's a
girls,
good.
I have not seen
series?
Drive.
That's a good one. You should
Adam
check
Driver.
that one
Is
out.
that
Yeah.
the guy?
I don't know.
I didn't see it.
The Sound of Music.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. Slumdog Millionaire.
No.
No.
Yes, I did.
You did?
Oh no, I was thinking of the one. What's the one? The hotel, the famous hotel. The story of the Babcock Hotel or something. It's real weird.
Oh, yeah.
I saw it the other day.
That was a great movie.
It was
I liked.
a great
I
movie.
loved it with
I thought I would
Ralph
hate
Fiennes.
It. Yeah, it was very.
Oh, my God.
And the
The
way the
hotel
director did it was
something.
all. It was like
Oh,
it was
yeah.
like the way that the Dick Tracy movie changed the way people made movies like that, and
Yeah.
this was the same thing. It was
Inventive.
totally. I mean, and the music and the guys on the top of a thing. I mean, I was
Funnier now.
it
was the hotel
the amazing
lot.
story of the hotel, something hotel, the pure and luxurious hotel, or something like that.
But it was
oh, I
wonderful
can't believe I
movie.
can't remember the name, but it's the
Wonderful
the
movie.
something hotel, the pure and.
Though it was the Hotel Blank, and it was the name of
Yeah.
it was
And it
set
was-
in Eastern Europe.
It was very well done. It was
Belgrade. The Hotel Budapest, I think.
Hotel or if that isn't as close, yeah. And it was really, really.
Funny.
I couldn't believe how much I should have watched it before. Yeah, very well done.
Russian Ark.
No, don't
Never
know that
heard
one.
of it. Donnie Darko.
I've seen a couple of minutes of it, I think, but I can.
I tried to watch it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. No, I haven't seen that one either.
Whoa!
Or the sequel. Star Wars.
Bring it up again. We'll vote on
Yes.
it.
Yeah, Star Wars.
Star, of course. Yeah.
Alien.
I did
Yes.
see that originally.
Alien?
I haven't seen it in years.
Avatar.
No.
No.
What a pile of shit that was.
Liberals.
Psycho.
Oh,
yes.
Let's see. V for Vendetta. Did not see that.
No.
No. Gladiator.
Yeah.
Yes.
The porn version? Yeah. Mary Poppins.
Oh yes.
Yeah, yeah. I saw the remake too. They did a few years ago.
Starter Wife.
That was very well
really?
done.
With Dick
I
Van
thought.
Dyke?
Yeah, not well. Yeah, he was
The original.
He was in it. Well, the original, and he's also
He was
a
in the-
surprise cameo in the second one. Yeah. Sorry to run that for everybody. Chinatown.
Oh yeah.
Forget it,
That
Jake.
was a weird movie too.
Great
you know?
movie.
Yeah.
Great movie.
And Geddes, Geddes, Mr. Geddes.
Jake Geddes.
Jake
And
Geddes.
the sequel, I like the sequel. Not a lot of people did. I like the sequel.
You know, that's I'm trying to remember. I think I saw the sequel.
it was pretty good.
I think I did like it.
Two Jakes, I think, was the name of the sequel.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Mean Girls.
No, I never saw it.
No.
Know of it, but never saw
Never
it.
saw it. Ocean's 11.
Yeah.
Yes.
Either one, Sinatra or Clooney.
I've seen both.
Well, the Clooney, the later ones are better movies.
saw the Sinatra.
but again, when you have Sammy Davis Jr. and Sinatra
funny.
and Peter, that was a classic movie.
TBS had them back to back one time where they had Ocean's
Yeah, but
11.
the newer ones are better. It's like James Bond. You know, the original James Bond, they did this fake judo, and now that's real stuff. So I mean, you can't compare the two, but yeah, they were classic.
The Godfather.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Shape of Water, which I tried to watch and couldn't get through.
Is that the one with the lion on the boat or
no,
the tiger?
Actually, where the woman works in a secret government lab and they have this aquatic creature in there.
Oh no!
It won an
didn't see that.
Oscar, didn't it? I think it
Yeah,
won
it
something.
did. I think it did. What's the one with the tiger in the boat?
Oh,
The Indian kid and the
the
tiger in
Indian
the
kid.
boat or something.
Oh God, I forget that. I haven't watched
Sea
that
of
either.
something or I don't remember. Anyway, that was pretty
couldn't
interesting.
watch that.
That was weird. I didn't think I'd like it, but I sort of did.
All right. Forrest Gump.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Yep, great movie.
Mama.
The Dark Knight. Great
Yep.
movie.
Is that the new one?
Well, it was they did 3. Dark Knight with Christian Bale as Batman.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, the second one's the better. Well, actually, the first one.
Which one
and
with the
second
Joker?
One are
Is
the
that the one
great,
with the Joker?
Well, the second
one's
one
the
is with Joker, and then
Second
after
one's the
that's
Joker.
with Bane.
Yeah,
The second one was the better one.
yeah.
Yeah, because the first and the third deal with Ra's al Ghul, and the Joker was never part of that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Heath
Pay
Ledger.
attention, Kimmer.
Heath
Well, no,
Ledger
I'm just trying to
was-
decide whether how many of these we're going to mention. Are you going to mention? Are we supposed to be counting?
Yes, you're supposed to be counting.
Like 40 freaking marks. Is there a prize? I mean,
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. The Exorcist.
of course.
Yes.
I
And
read the
too.
book, but I could not watch
Oh,
the
I
movie.
saw the movie. The book was just as bad
Scared
as the
the
movie.
shit out of
Yeah.
me. Up.
Oh, the lawn chair guy taking
Yeah.
off. I didn't. I
Now,
know of it, but I didn't see
You
it.
would love
Is
it because
good?
the dog can speak.
Oh my
They put a
God.
collar on that the dog can
It's
speak.
on every
And
once in a while.
that's where we get squirrel. You would love that movie. Up is
I'll
one
have
of
to
the
watch it.
greatest movies. It'll make you cry.
I'll be damned.
It'll make you laugh.
Really?
It
I
is
had
a
no
great,
idea. It
great
looks stupid,
friggin-
and I've never.
No,
seen
it's
it.
not. You'll love Up.
Wow.
You have to check it out.
I will.
Dunkirk is not as good as I thought it would be, although the Spitfire scenes with Tom Hardy are
Was
amazing.
that supposed to be all done in one day or something? Theoretically, there was a one day of
Yeah, in
combat or
Dunkirk,
something?
where they were trying to get the guys off the beaches,
Yeah.
and Churchill sent
Yeah.
everybody
I
with a
had it
boat.
on DVR for a long time, and I erased
It's
it.
a good movie. You should see it.
Yeah.
It's not.
A good
I was
war movie.
disappointed because
Yeah.
it wasn't as good as I thought it would
Yeah.
be. And The Evil Dead.
Evil Dad.
Evil Dead.
Dead. No,
I haven't seen it
I don't go. I don't go to any of those. Zombie werewolf.
You
no.
quit writing. Okay, how many did you get there?
2,
You-
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 28.
20. How many, Flounder? 16. Out of 50?
No, 22. I've
22?
seen 22.
All right.
Those are a lot of old. There's a good bit of
Yeah.
old movies
well,
in
you
there.
should see a lot of. You know what this means?
What does it mean?
It means you. How many did you see?
28.
You have seen 28 movies of
Yeah.
this list.
Yeah.
And you have seen 22, and I've seen 29.
I can't believe it. Oh my God! Did you? Anybody have any idea? Oh,
This will
this
def-
has got to go.
Yeah,
on
this
the
is going. Yeah,
Saturday podcast.
I'm marking it right
This
now.
is the lead on the Saturday playback. I swear to God.
I put so much work in this.
Shouldn't we have talked about each movie? I don't know. I just
We talked about it
we
while
did
we were
talk.
doing
All
them.
right, so it worked. It was good. We talked about
You
it.
see why
We
it was
had
so
fun.
disappointing when you skipped over it
Right.
on
I was
Wednesday
gonna
like
ask
it was
you-
nothing?
We talked about seeing Jaws. I was going to ask, did you see Jaws 2 or Jaws 3?
Yeah, oh, the 3D, of course. You know what's better in the 3D? The one that came out a few years ago, the Megalodon.
Oh,
With Jason Statham.
I didn't see it.
There is one scene. See, they're underground habit trail underwater. So this little Chinese girl's walking around, little bitty cute little girl, and she's walking, and suddenly she feels like somebody's watching her. Well, and she turns and looks, and all you see is this little girl in this vast window of this underwater thing. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, the deeper blue, comes the shark. And it's as big as the window.
Oh, boy.
And it comes closer and closer. You go, what's it going to do? Come up and look at her? And all of a sudden it opens its mouth and clomp right on and starts cracking the thing. and
Oh,
she's
boy.
too scared to move. I mean, it'll be like, damn.
Megalodon? Is that the name of it?
It'll make you laugh.
Oh, my
and
God.
it's
Is it
fun.
3D? It's not. Is it?
I don't know if it's 3D.
It's not 3D.
But it's
It's
good.
It's entertaining. It's very
entertaining.
it's very entertaining.
and it's on
Well,
all
cool.
the time.
That guy who's in the
Well, the guy from
The English
Dwight,
dude-
Dwight from The Office is in.
he's in there, and then the guy who's in the
Jason-
action.
Jason Statham.
Yeah, he's English or something like that.
He's in it, and there's speaking of hot Asian women.
Yeah,
there's
there's two.
two hot Asian
two hot
women
Asians.
in
Oh,
that.
mama.
Yeah,
Oh, mama.
I
Just
tell
became
you.
Asian cheerleading night.
Hey, we got a drink for you for the
next week.
the holidays. Here's your new drink. You ready? See if
Yeah.
you'll drink. It's called the Drunken Rudolph.
The Drunken Rudolph. All right, sir.
Whole milk,
Yeah.
hot cocoa mix,
Okay.
vanilla ice cream,
All right.
Bailey's Irish cream liqueur,
All right.
and Fireball cinnamon whiskey.
Oh man, that's a tough combo.
Looks like
right
a
there.
White Russian almost, or
With a
a
kick to it.
or a what's your mudslide?
Yeah.
I used to love
Those
my
are-
mudslides.
those are,
mudslide is ice cream and milk and cream and
Kahlua,
Kuala Lumpur, not Kuala Lumpur. What do you
Kahlua.
Kahlua and vodka, and then but I'd also put in what's the name of that kind of mild liquor that goes with margarita sometimes. I can't remember. Anyway, and make it all real ice creamy and like chocolate ice cream, and then put a shot of Kahlua on the top of it. And the problem is they're going down like Long Island iced teas, where you think you're drinking iced tea, and then you try to stand up. It tastes like a milkshake. The mudslides used to make those every time I went on vacation. I would have mudslides by
Time for Ask Kimmer.
Ask Kimmer?
Ask Kimmer.
All right, sir.
And you can join too, Flounder. It can be Ask Flounder as well.
Yes.
If COVID, HIV, and the flu walk into a bar, what does the bartender say?
Leave.
Hello, you Democrats.
What is this? Some kind of a sick joke?
A sick joke. A three-legged dog walks in the bar. I'm looking for my paw. Sorry you had to hear that.
Oh, good. Oh, there's a overpass on the Beltway, which goes around Washington, D.C. and Baltimore and everything.
Okay.
It's a low overpass, and here's some of the signs on it. This is Washington, D.C. Biden sucks. Democrats can suck my dick 2022. And the one on the right, and this is bad, eat my Joe Biden.
No, we don't.
All on the
right
bridge.
there in the old public. Oh, boy.
And finally, a colon can completely change the meaning of a sentence.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell them how, Grandma.
For example, Jane ate her friend's sandwich. Or, Jane ate her friend's colon.
That's not what you meant. Grammar. Let's eat, Grandma, or let's eat Grandma.
It's the bear. It says, let's eat kids, or let's eat
Let's
kids.
eat kids.
Did you see the video of the guy climbing rocks somewhere
Yeah,
out west?
yes.
And the
Oh, my
bear comes
God.
for him, and he
Yeah.
knocks that bear over the ledge. That bear's like,
Well, the bear was coming.
Dude.
The bear was coming down, I think, and it fell a little bit, and then it started coming back
it's
up
like,
for it.
push me off, you mother.
Oh, man.
That's a bad feeling.
Yeah, because he was climbing, he was rock climbing or doing something, so he was up a good 300-400
You're not expecting
feet.
to find a bear
Sure,
up
no,
there. Maybe
yeah.
a rattlesnake, but not a bear.
Jeez. And they can climb and, they're agile.
Have you seen the video? It's basically the bear's walking. Someone put a mirror up in the forest and put a camera up.
That is
No.
hilarious.
And the bear comes around, he turns around, he looks, and he does a double take and starts just nuts up on the damn mirror. It is funny as
It's
shit.
hilarious
I
because he
love
doesn't know what to do.
He's like, what the?
Oh, boy. Are we doing a theater?
Bad Text Theater.
Oh, Bad Text Theater. All right, let's do it.
I believe we're at the job interview.
We are at the job interview, I say. And what do you call job interview, huh? There's a few job interviews on here. Okay, there we go.
The one after Can You Type Fast?
Okay. Which one are you?
I'll be the I'm interviewing you.
You're interviewing me, and go.
You're asking for a pretty high salary for someone with no experience.
Well, this job is going to be super hard since I don't know what I'm doing.
Sounds about right. Oh, man. Any weekend plans? Football? Any
Football.
other than that?
You know, Sunday,
Any exciting
I may drive up in the mountains Sunday, depending on the weather. Because they're saying the leaves are pretty good
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Just becoming.
Yeah. Flounder?
Hit
some balls, maybe?
Maybe possibly hit some balls, relax, keep
Yeah.
We got a
watch
request
sports.
here.
All right.
Lori, if someone said you posted a while back a picture of you and good boy Jack, as she
Yeah.
puts it, on Facebook, can you please put it up again? I like when you put pictures up of him. I love seeing all the other horsies.
Well, absolutely. I'll put a whole bunch up. In fact, I'll as soon as I go home, I'm not going to the stable today. It's Friday this week. I've got some stuff going, but I'll be there Saturday and Sunday. Take some videos, and when I go home today, I will get some pictures of me and Jack, and also me and Jack and the late great Hobbs the kitty. One of my favorite pictures is of the three of us, of me holding the cat and Jack, and I mean it just warms my heart. And I'll put some old videos of Jack eating me or whatever, nuzzling us up. Well, he was rather.
Comma. We're just talking about commas here.
Anyway, boys, have a great. It looks like it's going to be beautiful. We got out of this 30s nonsense. It didn't kill my flowers,
Kind
apparently.
of need the rain a little bit, but what the hell?
Well, we could use rain. I just don't want to. I'm not ready for 25 degrees and kind of thing. So.
I can never. I've been here since '69, pretty much. I don't remember getting it freezing.
Yeah.
Way before Halloween like this.
Yeah, this was. I took my plants in. I mean,
I know. I had. Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Well, God bless America. Semper Fi. Thank you all, really, so much around the world, and sticking with us. And we're counting on you. God bless you. We love you. Went down instead of up that time. How unusual, because that's what she said. But seriously, herp and huh.
Tip your weights down.